Ooh,
Let's
yeah,
go,
baby.
baby. So, with me becoming a unicorn, I will introduce you to how this session is going to start. It is going to be starting as it finished last episode, with Josiah and Novara teleporting themselves inside of a ruin. Yes, Ben, recording is working, thank you. Teleporting themselves inside of a ruin that was discovered on the eastern side of New Horizons post. You guys blagged your way inside to this archaeological dig site as proprietors of the site through the university in which the people that were already there conducting their business. You managed to sneak your way in. You managed to get close to the artifact. Well, not artifact, sorry, the room that was discovered, which a small hole had been drilled into, which you could see there was water inside. Teleporting inside, you found a button, and Nivara, being the ever inquisitive one, pushed it, which released a teleportation spell that teleported not only the water but themselves to somewhere distant. And this is where the party stop knowing what happened at the end of episode 12. For those that are watching right now that want to know, you're going to go and have to look for yourself, because I won't explain any further, because there was also an episode 12.5, which I did with those two. Primary reason for doing it, and I think it was a good reason as well, is because it was going to stop the majority of the party sat twiddling their thumbs while two people do something for like a few hours. I think it was I can't remember which one it was, whether it was Ben or Rose. One of them suggested it to the other, and then they both come to me with it, and I agreed. And we did that last week. It was Rose, thank you, Ben. But we're going to start today, and we're going to pick up the session with the majority of the party, which is Vlad, Barnet, Pola, now Uldar, and Dax, who's picking his fucking eyeball. Because someone didn't bother to turn up. It's fine. And we're gonna pick up from the moment the teleportation happened. So the very moment that teleportation happened and you see the flash of purple and you hear the rushing of the water and you probably hear like the yelps of the two inside as they get flushed. The light dissipates and you guys are left alone.
Were we told to go back to the ship?
I don't know, were you? As the student that was guiding you guys to the site while the professor looked over the papers, kind of shouts into the borehole. Miss, are you okay? And you see him trying to peek in as best he can, trying to look. Oh no. Was that them? And he'll look back at the party. Is that an ability they normally exude?
To a point, I don't think that's the same spell that we have.
Oh no. And you'll hear him, and you'll feel him push past you guys as he's shouting, Professor! Professor! They've disappeared! And you'll hear him run up and start shouting and mentioning, like, that they teleported inside and disappeared.
Follow.
Well, there's a hasted conversation between the two as he's recounting what happened. Like, the dancing lights were put inside, they could see the water, which is something they'd already documented, and they managed to find a way inside without disturbing the ruins. They found something, messed with it, purple light, teleport, booth, gone. Right. Well, this is certainly, and you'll kind of see him looking at his papers, like looking at the map that he's drawn of what he thinks the room is shaped like. As far as we was aware, there was only the one rooms. Where the hell did they go? And you all said that this is not an ability of either of them, right?
Similar ability, but not the spell that we would normally use.
Right. This is bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
Turns to the student. Get the bore tool. We're going to make 2 more incisions, and we're going to cut a triangle piece out of the wall. We need to get a better view inside. We need to see where they've gone. What? As they're now going to start working, and basically after hearing what's happened, they're seemingly going to cut 2 more holes into the wall and then cut like a triangle shape so they can get a better view inside. They're trying to minimize the amount of damage they do, but obviously they want to have maximum visibility. What do you guys do in the meantime?
I look at Barnet and Vlad. Either of you two have any way of sending messages the way that Ivara does?
No, sorry.
I can shout. That's about it.
Gonna need a longer distance, probably. Did I not learn sending?
We.
And yeah, no, both of the student and the professor have left the table, leave where you guys are to discuss. And the professor's following behind the student, who's running ahead and grabbing tools and things.
Can I have a look at the map? See if there's anything that would look like another way in. Maybe that they've overlooked a bit further away.
Looking at the map, it looks like that he's roughly got the dimensions of the inside of the room as best as he can.
I've seen the inside.
Yeah, the problem is there's no detail on the walls or anything that might be inside because all he can see is what was through that peephole. So he's got an idea of like, oh, it looks to be about 4 foot across and like it may be 10 foot tall. There's no detail because they just haven't had the ability to look inside easily because they were trying to do minimum invasion.
Do they have a map of the region, like?
They have a small map of the region, yeah, of the island of New Horizons. It's not like it's not like a map of the immediate area. It's the entire island.
That's going to be useless. Okay.
It has the basic topography, but that's about it.
Anyone got anything that can help us break through that door a bit quicker? So what they do? Are they drilling? They're going to drill more holes to make.
You know how they've drilled the one hole already?
Yeah.
They're going to drill 2 more relatively close together and then cut a line between them all to make a triangle-shaped hole in the wall so they can have a bigger hole to look in. But they're obviously still showing restraint in not wanting to destroy the structure.
Yeah. Anyone got any spells that would help them? I'm not too fussed if we just blow it open, to be honest.
Blow it open? I think the architect here, well, these people will go mad about it.
Maybe on the time limit. I mean, the captain and the quartermaster are gone. Although,
I will say,
if they are in trouble,
probably at
they
about
can always...
this point, this is more a timeline for Ben and Rose. At about this point is when we actually ended episode 12. The bit that we did roleplay after you guys teleported, I would say we're probably at that point now. So from here on, it's the 0.5 episode timeline, roughly.
If they were in troubles, they've got the box, they'd always rally, which would take them back to the ship. They could be there right now, but we're no way of messaging. We can either help here, or go back to the ship.
Sounds like a plan.
It's a long shot, to be honest. Maybe someone on the ship's got a way of messaging. I don't...
Maybe.
To my memory, I don't think we have. Can I go find... Yeah, quickly go find the professor.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have a way of sending message?
You'll see the professor is basically stood at the top of the decline, because they've basically dug out a rough staircase ramp, which is what you guys have been using, and he's currently stood about halfway down, like instructing the man, because he's older. He's not old, but he's older. But yeah, you can go and speak to him. The only means
I'll go with him as well.
The only means of long distance communications I have is obviously my letters. I do have a diplomat's pouch, but the problem is I have very limited contacts that I know that have one as well.
I don't know what a diplomat's pouch is.
A diplomat's pouch allows me to send letters instantaneously, but only to other people who have a diplomat's pouch.
don't happen to have a spare
No, I only have my own.
with a shot. Well,
Does your
in an emergency,
Does your
in an
late-
emergency,
Does your mistress have a diplomat's pouch? If so, I can send correspondence.
not that I'm aware.
What about her servant boy that was with her?
No, he won't.
Right.
Yeah,
The only
because
people that
the
I
only-
know that could be of any use are thousands of miles away at the moment, back on the mainland.
best option we've got is that in an emergency, they will be able to send themselves back to the ship.
Right.
So I think it's probably best if we go there.
Understood. Well, we're going to bore a larger hole and we're going to have a better look inside as best as we can. We also have more lights we can put in, and maybe with a bigger hole we can see maybe what triggered what happened.
I'll stay here, just in case.
I don't think splitting up's a good idea.
Yes, but if I'm injured and them down there, they'll need me to heal them.
Yeah, okay. So we'll run to the ship.
Give me a Hearing, obviously, what Vlad said about potentially being injured, obviously, it's not something that he'd obviously immediately considered. Right. He kind of looks at your mace, Vlad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we could make a small enough hole to maybe squeeze your smaller compatriots through, if need be. Looking at Barnet.
Yay.
Maybe he can find whatever means they found and what triggered the movement, and we can replicate it and send your compatriots in also.
You okay with that, Barnet?
Yeah.
It's an option. I mean, I was trying to preserve the structure as much as we could, but it's an unfortunate accident and a potential emergency.
If Barnet gets teleported as well.
Barnet, are you willing to take that risk?
Yeah. Why not?
Okay.
Right, so we're going to have to start working on the wall then as quick as we can. We don't have any heavy-duty equipment. We don't have much, but you must certainly use what you will, what you need.
Barnet, I think that's a hint for you to start smashing.
I will, yeah.
Get this boy a pickaxe.
Boy, come out the way. Let the men deal with it. They have the tools.
Oh.
And like he'll kind of call the student up and move out the way and allow you guys to move towards the wall and start whacking.
Hey.
Remember to be as gentle as possible. We've got to preserve the history.
Liam,
Yeah.
what weapon are you using?
I'm going to use a hand axe.
Okay, can you roll to hit on the stone wall?
Remember, gentle.
Do it as hard as you can.
That's gentle Barney, so there we go.
19 hits.
There's something else raised
Go
on me there. Let me turn that off. Hold on.
Go, Barnet.
Yeah,
These
so
three
it's
now, do you
just,
wanna
it's
hit
just
things?
8.
Yeah.
Down to 4. Because you are using a slashing weapon on a wall.
Yeah, I don't have flashing, unfortunately. Oh, no! Oh!
Oh.
Can I change for a weapon?
After this
Seen that.
attack, yes.
Okay.
You do 4 points of damage, Liam.
Well, I get 2 attacks per turn, so should I do another attack with that?
Well, we're not in combat, so
You're not in combat, like...
Oh, okay.
this is just
Oh.
more... I'm making you roll it out because you could break your weapon or worse.
Okay, I'm gonna swap from my hand axe to my quarterstaff.
Okay.
See if that does anything different.
Vlad, can you borrow your mace?
It's
I'll pull it out and hand it to
it's
him.
why the professor pointed to the
Because the
mace.
professor was looking at it.
Oh, I'm watching the entertainment. That's fine.
Yeah.
We might be on a timescale.
It's all right.
Nat 1, baby.
Oh my god!
Woo!
Right,
Yay!
hang on, let's roll that severity. Okay. As you hit the wall with the quarterstaff, the shock sends itself up the staff and causes like a surge of vibration, and it completely topples you backwards onto your ass.
Yay!
Come on, Barnet. What are you playing at? And I'll pull my mace out and give it to him.
Oh, okay, I need to add a mace to my inventory very quickly.
Just roll it, Liam, with just dice. You don't need to actually add it to your inventory. This is, I'd imagine, temporary.
Oh yeah, what damage does it do though?
It's a 1d6, I believe.
It's a +1 mace. 1d6 +2.
There you go. If it's +1, it'll be plus his strength, not yours.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
just roll hand axe again and just add 1 to the result.
Yeah. Just roll it as if it's a hand axe because it's the same. It's the same damage dice, but it's bludgeoning now.
Yeah, if it's +1, it'd be 18.
Yep, hits.
So then damage would be 9.
9 points of bludgeoning from a mace, not a hand axe. And I'm not going to make you roll anymore, but yeah. After a few more solid hits, you can start to see the wall starting to give way. Can you make a dex save? Yes, you will have advantage because of danger sense.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you pass.
21.
As you start to hear the sounds of the wall starting to collapse, Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
You don't like the words,
The wall that you managed to destroy was obviously a wall of some significance, and it drops the other 3 walls at the same time along with the roof.
Oh man.
And it completely caves in on of itself.
Yeah.
Basically, that D100 I was rolling was severity on how foobar the ruin become, and 6 is pretty bad. It completely buries itself under the rubble of the stonework. You may have done a job too good.
That's second happened to me in D&D games recently.
All right, Chris Jericho,
you want a job doing
leave
properly?
them walls alone.
But
yeah, like with an actual cascade of large tumbling rock and a jump back from Barnet, it crumples upon itself, almost entirely burying where the floor was. And then obviously portions of where the wall on the far side was still covered by dirt, some of the dirt starts to shift and move as well.
There are still some standing walls.
Not much. Like, it was a 6. Like, whatever parts of the wall Barney destroyed was structurally significant, is what we're going to call it. Basically, on that D100, the higher the roll, the less bad it would have been for you guys.
Anyway.
Right.
Well, can I stick my head in, hoping that there's writing that would kind of suggest where they would be taken to? Is there anything like carved on the walls?
No, what I said when it's buried itself, I mean literally all 4 walls
all
collapsed
caved
and
in.
it completely dropped on top of itself.
No, okay. Yeah, okay. Well, back to the ship then.
Like, if it was a high roll, the one wall would have collapsed and you would have been able to step in and have a look, but it was a 6. Barnet probably attacked more the corner than the center of the wall and probably collapsed multiple parts of the structure at the same time. And then the rest just couldn't hold itself up and it's completely crumpled in on itself.
Okay.
I'd walk up to Barnet, put my arm around his shoulder. Well done, mate.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh no, and by the way, the scholarly types are mortified.
I can imagine.
They were letting you knock a wall down. You've knocked the entire thing down. And they are... The professor as well is just entirely slacked your mouth open.
Kind of poke him and gesture silently to let's back away and leave.
Yeah.
I'd pull a a bottle of spirit out my bag. Drink, anyone? As a guilty face sort of thing. Sorry.
I didn't expect the structure to be so, brittle.
Yeah,
The
sorry
walls-
about
The walls are incredibly thick. And you kind of look at Barney. What are you?
One of a kind.
Huh. Maybe going back to your vessel might be another option, considering I don't think this will be usable now.
No. Okay. Let's get moving.
Yes.
Okay.
You make way back to the vessel as best as you can, leaving Dax to drool a little bit on the way. I think it was like an hour and a half, 2-hour journey or so. Because it was a fair bit out of town, and you start making your way back.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you guys are doing on the way back?
that. Nah, it's straight back on that.
Oh, yeah, let's head right back.
An eye on Vlad.
What was that? Sorry.
Keeping an eye on Vlad.
Okay. Easy enough to do. You will eventually... are you going at like normal pace? Are you guys sprinting? Or are you...
Hurry. Hurry, but not knackering ourselves out, because...
Oh, I'm just going to
Sure
take
we
my
go.
time. No
Okay.
rush.
I was just kind of getting an idea for how long it'll take to get there, because I'm just... I'm roughly time mapping everything in my head, because I've got to think of where things are and what things are doing. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, you guys get back to the ship with not a stroll, but like a brisk pace at least. You're not like gassing yourselves. And you'll get back to the ship. I'd imagine the first person on board is probably Uldar, followed by Barnet, then Vlad, and Dax is there, I guess. And you'll notice that the deck of the ship is coated in a thin veneer of blood. Okay. And quite a bit of it too.
Okay. Is anyone on board?
No. And we're not talking like horror movie scene, like psycho, like amounts of blood. But we are talking more than a paper cut. Do you know what I mean? It's significant,
Right.
but not egregious, if that makes sense.
So, as I'm the last one on there, I'll turn around and go, did you just go around killing everyone because you're annoyed?
Who?
Well, look at the place. There's no one on here and there's blood everywhere.
Why would I do this?
Exactly, that's what I'm asking. Oh, Barney, was you annoyed and you did it instead?
Oh, it wasn't me, no. I think it was Dax.
Dax.
Are they...
Right.
He was with us. Oh, whatever.
Ah, yeah.
Well, let's look for any signs of... Was it a fight? Was it an accident? No. Look for signs of fighting.
Make a medicine check or an investigation check.
I'll assist you, I don't mind.
Yeah,
Or do you want it separate? I don't mind.
I'll allow an assist.
Go for it.
Decides to go through.
Yeah, 21.
Yes.
So it's hard to tell. There is, in the center of the boat, there is large splatters of blood, and you can see like smeared handprints and like streak marks. And then you can see like at the edge of the ship near where you guys climbed on board, on the rail, leaning up against the rail, like there's like smatterings of blood on that and on the rail around the edge. There doesn't seem to be too much more on the deck of the ship. It seems to be mostly concentrated to roughly the center of the ship by the main mast, and on the edge of the ship on the right side, which would be the starboard side, near the rail.
Looking down.
Make a perception check as well.
Wondering if did somebody crawl away back to land? What perception? Sorry.
Yeah, please. Okay, as you were.
Looking on the gangplank, was there anything?
There looks to be the remnants of some bloody footprints, but not too much more. There obviously is footprints leading away from the large smattering in the middle. It almost looks like someone bled out on the deck of the ship, because it's largely concentrated in the center of the ship.
Well, they're not here. Somebody left. We'll have to go ask in town. There wasn't guards, was there? Was there any, like... is there a proper dock?
Yeah, you're actually in New Horizons. You're not in the fishing village. There is dock workers specifically. There are towns guards. There are plenty of people. It's, I want to say it's late morning, probably noonish, maybe. So there is plenty of people about.
Yeah. So yeah, go find the closest person. Somebody looks like they work there. And
yeah,
would have been
easy
there
enough
for
to
a while.
find a dockhand. And like you kind of like flag him down and go, "I'm gonna do for you."
Yeah. The ship over there.
Aye?
Any news on? There seems to have been some sort of accident, injury.
No,
Any news?
let's roll
around?
history check for him.
See if he knows. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember seeing any commotion or anything happening. I do remember 2 people leaving that looked in a bit of bother, but don't know too much more
Can
about
you describe them?
that. 2 humans, both fair-skinned. One had dark hair, one looked to be like a red hair, maybe like almost brown hair. Man and a woman.
Oh. I remember our crew. Wait.
I think the man had black hair. I think. They didn't look very good though. They were looking all sorts of bother, but I didn't pay no mind. I just assumed maybe they'd had a bit too much to drink. Why? What's going on?
A man and a redhead woman.
I
Sorry.
think it was red hair. Yeah. He was like a light brown, maybe like a slight reddy hair.
Matt needs a little help. That's not part of our crew, is it?
You told
Okay,
me.
man and a redhead woman. Damn it. I can't remember what our crew looked like.
You can't remember what your own party members look like. They both left together, but they did split up on the shoreline. The man was. This is why I thought they were drunk, because the man wasn't wearing a shirt, and he looked pretty scuffed up. He was like he'd been in a fight, maybe.
Yeah, which way did they go?
The girl went to the marketplace, and I don't remember seeing where the man went, because I was trying to keep an eye on them both, and then when they split up, I had to pick one to keep an eye on. Just caught me by surprise.
Is there anywhere like a doctor's or a healer's around here?
Yeah, there's a few, depending on what you need. Natural and herbal remedies. Are you looking for more like the barracks where there's a?
I'm thinking
Doctor?
if they would have, what they would have needed.
Well,
If you were in that state, where would you go?
probably go to the proper physician in town. Yeah. If you go down the main street, and next to the general store, there's a shop front. It's a bit unsuspecting, but that's by design. Just give it 3 knocks and explain what you need, and they'll help you if you can bother. If you think they've gone there, I mean, wait. Because I saw you guys come off the ship. Like, are you like friends of theirs? Do you know what happened?
No, we are friends of theirs, but we just got here.
All right. Well, good luck.
Thank you for your help.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
Shit, hang on.
And then as you walk away, hope you find them.
Chuck him a silver. Kind of flick it at him while I'm kind of storming off.
Say that again, Matt.
I'm flicking a silver coin at him as I'm hurrying away.
Oh, we'll catch it. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Right, so market or physician?
Let's go to the market first.
Is the market closer anyway?
No, it's midday. It's probably prime time for the marketplace.
No, is it closer? Sorry.
Oh, yeah. It's the main market stall is
Gonna be
just
right
off
there.
the docks because it's designed for also merchant vessels that like come with wares. They can sell, they can trade, they can leave. Do you know what I mean? There are other markets, but the main market is pretty close. There are other smaller markets, but they're more for the locals. Do you know what I mean? They carry the essentials, whereas this has all sorts.
Yeah. Market then. Yeah, if we all just kind of split up and just start asking random merchants,
Yeah.
have you seen these people?
Okay, roll me an investigation, a perception, or a persuasion. DC is different on each one, but you can only pick one. God damn! God damn, my boy!
That'll do.
After speaking with a few merchants and other vendors and maybe even a few patrons that are walking through, and being able to ask with genuine sincerity, and people don't tend to be suspicious, they tend to be quite trusting of what you're asking for. They don't exactly suspect why you're chasing a ragged woman through the marketplace. Are you trying to murder her or something? They kind of, you give off the tender and empathetic sense that, like, no, you're there, like, you know this person, you're there to help, and they believe you. Or at least that's what it seems. There is mention that a woman was passing through about 5 minutes ago. It looked like she was asking for a number of different items, maybe. I think someone overheard her looking for manacles. And they kind of gestured through the marketplace. And after about 5 or 10 minutes of searching, you'll see a woman kind of clutching her hip almost, like her ribs, hip area with the right hand, and currently handing over a couple coins to a merchant who looks considerably fucked up. You can see the shirt is damaged, you can see it's blood-stained and smeared in many places, and you can see the light reddish hair of someone you recognize. Looks like Nivara.
Nivara has red hair.
Not like full-on ginger redhead, but it's like a strawberry blondie type
It's
thing.
a tinge of. Oh, okay.
It's a very light brown going on red. Look at her Discord profile picture if you want to refresh it, because she has her artwork there.
Well, I'll run over to it.
Okay, and what do you say?
Ivara, you okay?
Oh, hello? It is. Rosa will allow you to take over if you wish.
Please. I got worried then when it was you talking, not her.
Hold up,
As soon as you jumped, I was like, ooh, okay.
Hold up, wait a minute.
She does sort of jump slightly, I imagine, because she's been like so in her own head for a second that she jumps.
Yeah, and as like you kind of catch up and talk to her, you can see her being handed 2 sets of manacles from the vendor.
She stuffs them
What happened?
into the bag. She just. It's a long story. Everything okay?
Better now. Josiah, are you with you?
No, he stomped off. He was in the mood.
Right.
I think, yeah. Tavern, maybe?
Well, I was going to look for these. There's a physician around if he's gone there.
Oh, he was barely touched. He wasn't hurt at all.
Oh, okay.
He was actually very good today.
So most of that blood
Surprisingly
yours?
good.
Kind of eyeing up and
Oh
down,
no,
checking
it
damage.
was. Yeah, no, I got beaten up by an ice storm. No, some of it was a little bit, but most of the blood on the deck of the ship, I believe, was on Josiah from Dull when he hacked his head off. So, maybe. What are you referring to?
The blood on the Wade's?
On the what?
On the Wade's vests?
I'm so sorry, I can't hear what you're saying. All there's another conversation going on. What did you say, Matt?
All the blood on the Wade's vest.
Oh, no.
Where's the
It
rest of the
wasn't
crew?
mine. Oh, they're off doing their jobs. When we arrived, the ship was empty.
Yeah, we saw empty
There
and
is
blood.
nothing. And you immediately jumped
Worried.
to murder? Destruction?
Kind of, yeah.
So is it that you assumed that the crew had all been murdered, or what were you assuming?
Well, at least a fight. There wasn't enough for the full crew to be injured, but...
Oh no, I just
I
think...
will say, by the way,
No.
the party that went looking for your missing friends did all go together, so if Barnett or Vlad does want to say anything, you can. I'm just pointing
Yeah,
that out.
you're all together, I assumed.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, I did get beat up pretty bad. When we were in the bone shaft, it was quite dangerous. The magic cancelling abilities proved difficult at first, but not too long, and then I think Josiah was mainly covered in Doll's blood. So, and then I got covered in a lot of blood when Gissa, like, tried to split open my body. So, what are you going to do? Should we find our captain?
Yeah.
Good.
I like how okay,
I do have plans.
I like how okay Matt is. Like he's just like, yeah, whatever. Like, yeah, cool, whatever.
I don't have to think anymore, I can just follow.
Not an ounce of care or empathy or sympathy.
How are all of you? Are you okay?
We're fine. Yeah.
I knocked down some walls. I think my super technically were doing it.
Yeah, we tried getting in, but didn't go well.
Yeah. It's not my fault. I did what people told me to, hit the wall. And the other three just seemed to fall down with it.
Okay, I do have some questions. Shall we continue on to maybe finding the nearest tavern to the edge of... Maybe looking for our captain while we talk? I'd love to find out what happened after we teleported.
Yeah.
Okay. rather than like going place to place and maybe or maybe not finding someone, whoever would like to lead the search, again, do me a persuasion, a perception, or an investigation check. DC is dependent, as you are looking for a potentially bloody and shirtless man.
What was it? Perception, investigation, persuasion. Do you want to give it a go, Carl? With Vlad? Give him a good old perception check.
I'm actually,
the crowd?
I'm actually very suspicious. So I'm watching yourself at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. I'll be going around asking again.
Okay. Damn, son.
Oh.
You are good at finding people, or at least asking people.
Apparently.
Easy enough, again. People don't seem to question your motives as you come across with an aura of genuine sincerity and, you know what I mean, you don't come off with sus vibes. And you'll hear word that a bloody and shirtless man was kind of meandering through the streets with what looked like a bloodied rag with something inside it, and was heading to the bathhouse.
Yeah, he went to the bathhouse apparently.
It makes sense.
Why is he shirtless? He's trying to show off his pecs or something.
We took off his shirt. It'll all make sense shortly.
Yeah, we took off his shirt. I like that keywording.
That's what's worrying me now. What else has been going on with you lots when we weren't around?
You'll find out shortly.
Go into the bathhouse, at least the one that it seems that was described, which looks to be one of the nicer ones. Not truly aristocratic, but nice. And you'll be able to speak to the receptionist or concierge or whatever you would call the person that works the front desk. If you're looking for the gentleman that came in earlier, he's currently bathing right now. Obviously, you yourself, gesturing to Naivara, you would not be able to meet with him at the moment, considering he chose a singular sex area, but the others may join as it is a public space.
Well, if we are here, I would love to take a bath. Oh.
You all may. It's 4 silver for as long as you wish. But obviously, by the end of the day, the baths must be clear.
Understand completely. How many of it is it? It's. I'm guessing Dax is drooling in a corner.
Yeah, Dax is drooling out the front. God, Dax is providing Overwatch by drooling in front of the building. Yeah. But yeah, so it'll be 4 silver apiece, 12 silver total for the 3 of you. Obviously, Naivara, you'd have to. Naivara, you'd have to. Okay, 8 silver then. Naivara, you'd.
Yeah, I don't want to see a topless. Sorry.
Well, it'd be more than topless at this point.
Exactly.
But obviously, Uldar and Barnet, you two may enter where Josiah is, because he chose to go into the men's only side rather than the open. Obviously, if Naira wants to enter the completely open area or females only, that's up to her. But obviously, assuming you want to go and speak to Josiah, you're going to have to go there for the 2 of you.
Cool, I'll split off and go into... I don't care. How much are they each? Is it just
the same
4 silver
price?
each?
It's just preference, because it's like, say if you guys as a group of friends wanted to stick together and chat and hang out, you'd obviously go into the shed, wouldn't you? It's more for that sort of purpose than, you know what I mean?
Cool. So I will take off 12 silver.
8, because Vlad's not heading in. He's going to wait out front as well.
There's still 3 of us, and it's 4
shit!
each,
No,
so
I miscounted.
4
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's okay.
But yeah, basically, you get unlimited time in here until it shuts at the end of the day. It's not like you have an hour in and out, done, whatever. You can stay till close if you really want. Although you may come out a little pruny.
Nia's just going to basically clean up.
Yeah,
because
no,
she
that's
has
fair.
in a very dire situation for most of the day.
Yeah, the place you are that Josiah is using doesn't offer launder services, but I'd imagine. I'm pretty sure
And
you've got.
spare
I was going to
clothes.
say I'm pretty sure
I've
you
got
do.
them. Yeah, they kept on being destroyed. I've got spare clothes. I'm not kidding, but I have 2 spare sets.
But
And I will split off from the group.
Barnet and Uldar making your way inside. It's not hard to find a person in these baths. It's not huge in here. And you will eventually find a person that looks just like Josiah, currently with his back to you guys, like stooped on a stool, and he's currently like pouring a wooden pail of water over the back of his head. And you can see the think the scene from Psycho, like the streaks of like blood in the water. But he looks in relatively good nick. It looks like most of it isn't his. You can also see sat on the floor next to him is a bloody burlap, like, you know, when a homeless person, like in cartoons, had that stick with the burlap thing on the end. It looks to be that sort of shape, but it's singular colour and it's completely sodden with blood, and that's leaking a lot onto the floor as well.
Lovely.
Oh no.
Yeah, kind of crouched down next to him. Captain,
Odo, good to see you.
good to see you. All right.
Yeah, it's getting blood out of this. My hair is murder, or literally murder. Yeah, it's it's difficult. I'm getting there. Barnet,
Okay.
Hello. How are you doing? You okay? Looking a little bit bloody.
I think I took about one. Got a bit of, he's probably, you can see his body's got a little bit of cold damage and a little bit of like one laceration. So that's
A bit
like
what damage, sorry?
cold damage.
Yeah, so
like,
you've got like some
it's
signs
oh,
of like frostbite, maybe, like the very
Yeah, okay,
beginning
yeah, so-
steps.
Okay, if we said colon damage, we come on.
I don't know how one. Let's just not dive into it. I haven't got time.
That's what confused me. That was like, hey.
Yeah, no, I'll be honest, I heard it as cold, but I can understand how it can be very easily misheard.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, it's alright. Naivar took the beating more than I did. And most of this was like a ruse. Like, I sort of wiped a load of blood on me to pretend to be a slave. So.
Oh.
Nice. So we didn't have to be worried at all then.
Well, I don't know. Yes, you should have been, but you couldn't have done anything about it, and it's okay now. But it got dicey.
Oh.
And what I assume is your friend pointing at the bag.
I'll have a look.
That's obviously got a head in it.
Yeah.
I don't need to look. I can imagine.
Skull. It's a present for Arkai here.
Right. Did he ask for that?
Best
I suppose
present is when
it-
you preempt something.
Fair enough.
Yeah, best presents are when you preempt something. So, you know, you might want. I think you might want it because I think what Naivar was saying is making sense.
His eyes like a cat. You know what? That makes sense, yeah. Bring gift. Yes, gift. But that's
Caught it
also
myself.
inseminating that he's owned by Archaea.
Oh.
So the plan then? Deliver. Can we even get? Well, we can get back to it. We can teleport, can't we?
Mm-hmm.
The cube gets 3 uses a day, so yeah, like it's easy
Cube
enough.
somewhere, cube back, and yeah. So.
And then the cube would be done. You can't use it for the rest of the day.
There's Naya Vlad here as well.
Vlad's outside. Naya's washing up.
And Dax too.
Dax is outside.
Enough. I don't know. Are you going to wait for me to finish up, or I can catch you up somewhere, or you can? And it looks like the blood, like the reddy, like pinkish red pool he's in.
You're going to be a while.
Yeah.
Sure, there's a pub up the road.
Or we could
I
go,
could
yeah.
wash myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
We could go to the mixed bit, or we could. I don't know.
We'll just wash
get
up
some
here.
Clean water. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does Barney stay around Josiah? Is there a way that I can kind of have a sneaky whisper to him?
You can definitely do a
Imagine
brave
so.
for a second if you need to.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
Yeah.
You might want to have either have a word or just keep an eye on Vlad. He wasn't exactly helpful. He seemed kind of glad when our first attempt at following you didn't work.
I reckon it's just about. Suspect both of those parties need to take a bit of time. I think it'll be alright, but yeah, I will.
Hopefully, but yeah, keep your eye on. Yeah, and I go have a bath as well.
Okay. And all of you have a nice old time. To
Yeah.
those taking a bath, you are all going to receive 4 temp HP.
Ooh.
Because it's nice. We
Yeah.
like that.
Oh, no, not.
You will lose
I'm
it
gonna
though
heal it,
after a
no.
long rest, I will warn you, so be careful, guys.
But
Don't be
let's get into
spending
a
it
fight
all
so I
in
can
one
use it.
place. Yeah, let's
We
get
better get
into
into a fight then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually, and obviously I'm not going to ask how long each you take, but eventually you will all meet up outside, because I assume no one's going to take the piss. Please don't, it's a public
Not in the bath, no.
Yeah, thank
No,
you.
you leave it there.
What? No! That's wrong. But eventually we'll all meet up outside, refreshed, except 2 of you. You're all outside the bathhouse now.
Quartermaster, are we ready to go to? I would like. Actually, I think we should go to see Archaea now. We're all ready to go.
So,
Yeah.
What did you say? What did you say, Rose?
Navarro says so soon.
Yeah, well, I've got a present, and he'll sort of shake the bloody bag.
Oh.
The fabric's stained, but it's not exactly dripping anymore. You are still shirtless as well.
Oh, I have your coat. Would you like it? Are you chilly?
Don't.
To kind of like get it out of. She's carrying a lot more bags than she was previously, but we'll get it out of one of the bags and kind of hold it out.
Thank you. Can like. I assume Josiah's got like a list, like the same shirt 5 times in the wardrobe somewhere.
Yeah.
Where he'll just.
The one,
he'll like, oh,
the one thing
yeah.
that I will point out, though, you are currently hatless.
Did he lose the hat?
The hat does not exist anymore. Do not look.
We are free! Yes!
I can see the sky again.
Give it to me.
I can see clearly now the tricorn's gone.
Why did I lose it? I didn't.
Or maybe it's on the ship.
No.
I do not know.
Might be on the ship, Ben.
Well, let's go back to the ship. I'll get a new shirt and
Okay.
see if the hat's there.
Fuck.
It's not there. I'm just gonna say I know exactly where it is. It is not there. I'm not telling you where it is.
Do you actually?
Yeah, I know where it is.
Okay.
I believe I put it in my bag of holding. I think is what I said last session.
Sounds right.
That might be a bag of devouring. I don't know. Danny keeps on saying suspicious things about that bag.
Did you a fuck?
But yeah, I'm guessing we head back to the ship then,
Yeah,
as a team.
and get
All
Josiah
together?
a shirt, yes.
Oh, the hat isn't here. Oh well.
Oh
Just
no.
what-
Anyway.
it's a bit like, well, yeah, let's go see Archaea because kind of, I need to know some shit.
Agreed.
Are
Gather
we ready
round?
to go, everyone?
Aye, aye.
Dax, Vlad, Burnett, any... Are you all good to go?
I'm gonna stay
Oh.
here for a bit. And that is Dax in my best possible way of mimicking Adam.
I like that. Why not?
Okay.
You're all drunk.
There we go. No, it's more like you're drunk. I can't do it. I really can't do it.
You're drunk.
So yeah, I'll gather everybody round and then use the oh. Shall I first announce that we are going there, so we do not appear and he might not be home?
Yeah, well, let's do that.
Let me just see if I have any spare cell slots.
Oh, yes. Sending might be very useful for me to pick up at some point.
Maybe you will have to learn it yourself.
Got it. I'm sure we can get a scroll from somewhere.
Or maybe you learn it, as wizards do. Can't have everything handed to you. I do. I will cast sending to Archaea. I told him, her,
Him?
told
Him.
them. Yeah, I know it's a him at the moment. I told him after we did it that it was a very intimate thing. So
know,
it
I
might
know, I
be
was just-
rescinded now.
Yeah, I
Scrolls
was
is a
aware.
legitimate way of wizards learning.
It
You
is.
think it's on that?
Oh no, I know, but
She's talking about the
had a-
importance of
they
wizards
had a lot.
sharing knowledge with each other.
Yeah, I know that bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was testing
Not
to
only
see if that was
that-
still on the table, but yeah, I didn't think it would be.
But yeah,
Not only
do you
that,
have the
but
means to send
Paula's
a
technically
sending
has the
spell?
most out of me. Yes, I do. I will cast sending
To who?
to Archaea.
To Archaea.
Archaea.
And your message is as follows.
We would like to come and visit. Are you able to take guests? We have some questions.
A few moments later, I can facilitate guests. Bring yourselves to the teleportation area, and I will be home shortly.
I'll turn to the rest of the party and go. He will be home shortly. If we would like to jump, and we must stay near the teleportation room.
Sure.
Good. Any other last-minute sendings before we jump? I would prefer to keep some things in the tank.
Did
Just in
we
case.
talk about sending? I was just going to ask something. Did we ever get Fifth back?
No, nope, we did not.
He's currently on Underbelly Descent. You told him weeks ago that you were bugging him out and you were going to collect him. You told him to basically get ready for pickup, and you never...
Ulster's Den,
Ulster's Den, sorry.
not
yeah.
Underbelly Descent.
Yes,
Yeah.
Ulster's Den, sorry. You told him there to make spy work on Jacob
Yeah.
Prescott's crew. Then you told him to
Mhm.
get ready to bug out. We're coming for you. And weeks later, you haven't been back. And you
Told him
have,
to make ways for that.
and you haven't contacted him either.
Days. It's not weeks, it's days. I've been keeping an eye
About
on
a
it.
week.
It's not too long.
Yeah.
It was when we arrived, or was going to arrive at New Horizons, I think.
Oh, sorry.
Has it really been that long? You might be right, actually. It might be over a week now.
It's definitely over a week.
Anyway.
But it might
Well-
not quite be 2 weeks.
Could you just,
Yeah.
if it's not too much bother, if you like tonight,
I'll do it
before you go to
later.
sleep, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you just...
I think that if we're going to jump, I'm going to quickly write, because I've got loads of paper, a quick note and pop it on the wheel of the ship and just kind of shove it in, between the two things. It just says, "Sorry about the mess. See you soon," and then Naya at the bottom, and I'll kind of tuck that in.
Easy enough to
Just
do.
so the crew does not worry that we do not have a repeat of what you guys all thought. Excellent. And then we'll teleport to Archaea's facility with the party.
Easy enough to do. And as per the teleportation area, you spawn yourselves inside the guest wing, which, for all intensive purposes, as you guys may or may not remember, was borderline the size of a tavern. Like, there is a large area for, living space with, chairs, tables, like a small fireplace and things like this. There are rooms upstairs in which you can sleep in if you choose to. There is stocked drinks and food, which, for those that may remember, replenishes upon eating and drinking. It is self-replicating.
Naya just finds a chair and collapses into it.
I'll have something to eat.
There is myriad of choice. There's not infinite choice, but for the majority of tastes and interests, you'll probably find what you want. And you'll notice as it's removed from its place, you kind of blink and it's back, but you have one in your hand as well. Like you cut a slice of cheese and the cheese regenerates. You take one of the hors d'oeuvres and there's a second one back. And it is aristocratic food.
Even though I'm kind of like relaxing a little bit, can I just keep an ear out in case I hear footsteps that aren't our own also in this guest suite?
By all means.
Like kind of drown out the sounds of my friends, to kind of just keep an ear out in case there's somebody else here that we don't know.
Make a perception check, please.
Okay. Perception?
Yeah.
Rolling.
You are listening, are you not?
Rolling. I am. Oh, that is pretty decent. It's 21.
Oh, not bad. It's alright, I'm gone. The kitten's running over my feet.
Aww.
What it is, we've fixed the living room door, and now they're big enough, with the exception of Ian, obviously. We're giving the other 5 the run of just the living room now, and they're currently having zoomies and chasing each other, and they keep running over my feet, and I'm having to watch so I don't step on one or kick one. It is incessantly cute. Like I said, you guys are going to have to visit and meet them. But there is ambient noise in the room. There is the soft hum of what sounds like an instrument playing upstairs. It sounds like a stringed instrument. You can't quite tell what. It could be anything from a lyre to a harp to a violin, viola. It's hard to tell. But it's a string instrument. You can hear it softly playing upstairs. It seems to be playing a tune that plays for about 10 seconds and then seems to loop. Obviously, other than that, you've just got the noise of you guys in this space.
Okay. I'll continue to keep an ear out just in case that loop stops or something else changes, and just rest a minute.
As you're thinking about the music and you're trying to listen out for the pattern, do you think about the replicating pattern, or do you think of other music?
Probably other music. I imagine that.
As you focus and think about other songs, you will notice the music softly and subtly begins to change and twist and follow what you were thinking.
I imagine it's a song from the halls back home.
Yeah, probably. But it'll just be the melodic beat of it. It's
and
then you notice, wait, it's changed. Then you kind of notice as you start thinking of other songs, like maybe hearing a bit of a tune, and you think, is it that song? And you'll notice it changes, and it seems whatever you will in this space, to a degree, it does tend to shift almost to try and be as welcoming and comforting as possible, maybe?
I'm going to go and sit in the corner and wait as well, just meditate.
Okay. Obviously filling the space out as best as you can, but it is a large and welcoming space. 5-10 minutes go by, and you will start to hear the echoing footsteps coming from outside of the welcome area. There's the metallic floor, clunk, clunk, clunk. You hear the reverberations going down the hall and through the halls and past your door. And eventually, the door will slowly eke its way opening inwards towards you guys, and you will see a familiar amethyst dragonborn that goes by the name of Archaea. Welcome back, all of you. I trust looking at some of you, you look a little worse for wear. Things have not gone according to your plans. I assume there is a reason you are here?
Yeah, got a few questions to ask, if that's okay. And also, I don't know if you take trophies or heads, but I've got a Yuan-ti head for you if you want, a magic user. Oh, actually, there is a gift in the head.
I don't normally take trophies, but if you wish for me to have a look, I can. You said he was a caster of some kind?
Well, there's he's got anti-magical eyes, so it might be worth a look.
Right. May I? And kind of
Yes, he'll hand over the
gingerly hold a
squiggy.
hand out.
Yeah. Yeah, and place the burlap sack.
And he'll kind of put it on the table and open it out. Oh, yes, I can see what you mean. And he's kind of like pulling the eyelid back on the one. Yes, magical implants of some kind, and they must have been enchanted in some way to have anti-magic properties. Cleaner than I expected, but I can study this after we've spoke if you wish, if you need to learn anything from it.
Well, I think, for me, there seems to be some player that's given them technology.
And you think
Another
that's
one
to
to
do
know.
with these, and kind of gestures to the eyes? Right. I can certainly see if I can look for markers of creation, maybe get an idea if they are signatured creations of a known crafter or something, although that is a long shot.
I mean, I don't know if the spells that tell you information about things, but you're the...
Not spells, no. But I would have to dismantle and look for markers that are significant of certain crafters. There are certain techniques and signatures and signifiers that legendary crafters in the realms often put on their items they create, and it would be worth maybe having a look, if they are a known creator, looking for such identifiers. Think of how a bladesmith would often hide their signature on the tang of a weapon of a particular potency.
Yeah, I understand.
Craft-
Shipbuilders do something similar.
Artificers and other such crafters of magical gifts often hide their signatures as a mark of pride, because they usually are items of power, and if this is as powerful as you are claiming it to be, I would like to think that a signifier would have been placed.
Yeah, it seems... Yeah, it seems the Yuan-ti have got some kind of benefactor, or they've sort of regenerated their industrial capacity to a point where they're a danger again.
That is bothersome. I didn't anticipate those being noteworthy for a few more centuries.
Well, they also had this, like, magical generator. I don't know how to explain it, and there was, like, magical... Neither I said about being power running from around the city, so it seems advanced.
And Naivara, do you have any more information to add on to this? Do you have like a description, maybe any of the runic markings that you came across, so I can have an idea of what we're talking about?
They were transforming bones and bodies through the use of a incinerator into power. That power then was traveling through cables throughout the city.
Yes.
And at the center of the city
Bedtime,
was a
dear.
large
You're in bed?
pyramid-like structure. And then at the top, there was a power line connecting to that then connected to some sort of machine that changed potions of longevity into mist. So I imagine that there was continued use. The it was more advanced than something I could see for maybe happening a few hundred years. Maybe turn of the 40th century. Not only that, but and she'll grab some paper and begin like proper sketching out the rooms that she was seeing. They were able to on some of the doors as well. I noticed this, and she'll do the basically in the quickest way possible, plot out the ones
Try
that were
and
just showing.
redraw the
If you
majority
want
of
to.
what you can remember. Make a
Yeah,
history check.
Can I do it with advantage? Because I do have keen mind, which means
Yeah,
I'll
I'll
remember
say
everything
keen
for the
mind.
last month.
Actually, with keen mind, no, you won't need a roll at all then.
Do it, yeah.
You won't need a roll.
Yeah.
It'll be an automatic
It's
success.
so
Just do it.
No, yeah, because you
Yeah.
can actually. It's been less than a month. So, yeah, you can accurately recall it. Yeah, no, you won't need to roll, actually. That's fine. Yeah, I'd forgotten. I always
And
take the
so
piss
she'll
with you and
just-
keen mind because of the time, but I forget that's its main property. Yeah, you're able to recite information perfectly. So, yeah, you're able to write and sketch down these runes and explain, obviously, that they seem to have genetic signifiers that only allow certain races to
Yuan-Ti.
gain access, which in this case is Yuan-Ti.
Not only that, but they had slaves. A few of them. And I'm watching Garkaya to see his reactions as I say this.
Unfortunately, it is a torrid ordeal that many Yuan-Ti put on their kinsmen around them. How many did you see?
2 to every 10 Yuan-Ti?
That's
Is this-
significant.
The population of the city, somewhere between 600 to 700. So, at least, maybe, how many would that be? 140, 160 slaves. And they looked somewhat willing.
No, the Yuan-Ti are known for many ways of manipulating people to their will. They have always been creatures of this habit. About millennia ago, they developed, or maybe even more actually, thinking about it now. Kind of thinks of it for a moment. No, it was actually quite early in their notability and knownness to the material planes. They developed a material that allowed them to control people through means of intoxication.
White resin.
You are aware. Incredibly potent and deadly to those that are addicted and do not obtain more. Sadly, they are the only people that are capable of creating more, which kind of facilitates this vicious cycle of servitude once consumed.
A
He's,
little
but
slip?
obviously, understanding you obviously know this, he's kind of repeating this more to the other party members.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Does sadly, because he said sadly they're the only ones who can produce more, is that a Danny slip or an intentional?
No, he said
thing?
sadly.
I think I interpret that as you can't.
Yeah, they're
If
the
you
only
rescue
people you
those
can get it
people-
from.
If you rescue those people, they're still fucked. Is how I'm interpreting that. No,
The way
yeah.
it was intended is because like you say, if you rescue them, you either need to give them back to the Yuan-Ti
they
to be
die.
fed, or they're going to die. That's and this is why you explain it's a vicious cycle, because once addicted, you die if you don't have it. You're probably going to die if you stay with them because you'll be worked to death. It's a lose-lose almost. But I will say, Arkier for the most part tends to not show a great deal of emotion. He shows a lot of intrigue in history and innovations, and like looking at these eyeballs and stuff. Like he's
Alien
clearly
intelligence.
he's clearly showing intrigue and he's showing an interest, but he's not super emotive. He's quite reserved in that. I wouldn't quite say alien. just very expressionless for the most part, and very methodical and to the point.
Like a teacher talking through.
Kind
in
of,
like
yeah,
a crime kind of class
Yeah.
or whatever.
Or maybe even like the equivalent of like, you know, is it, I don't know if it's psychopath or a sociopath where they show very little or no emotion. I can't remember which one it is.
Sociopath, psychopath is more that they don't. Anyway, we're going off topic here.
No, but you know the point of me. I'm trying to explain how he's
Yeah,
been, because I
think
know
it
obviously
is,
you guys are watching this keenly, so I'm telling you this more in depth anyway, because this is very clear. He's not hiding it in any way. He's very blunt. He always has been, and he was the first time you met him.
It is logical to theorize that maybe they're lengthening their lifespans. We also have evidence, which will kind of point to the head on the table, is that they may be conducting more experiments in order to mutilate themselves, advance, much like the ruins upon Siren's Rest.
Yeah, and I will say, as you were talking as well, he's still inspecting this head and like looking at different elements. Yes, I can see, looking at the scalp here besides the hair. There are enchantments marked in here. These two here.
Naya will be like getting close at this point.
These
to have a
two
look at these
here
markings.
seem to boost sight and perception abilities. These here seem to improve thought and maybe even some base form of telepathy. I'm not too sure. Not without checking further, but marks that concern me the most is these two right here, and points to the two that are at the back of the head. Because basically there are two lines of scripture that go either side of Doll's mohawk, go into from the top of the head, past the crown, and to the back of the scalp where it starts to like curl under. On the bit where it's... You did. Sorry. You did, but you never inspected them. I've always said he had arcane markings.
Did he have arcane markings when we first met them?
Yes, he did.
Okay, cool. Carry on. Sorry.
His arms and feet were covered in bandages and heavily bandaged. And the only things that you could see, he had original eyes. The eyes were new from the last time you saw him. The arcane markings on his head were there. You couldn't see anything else like the skin because he had always had bandages around his arms, fingers, and feet. And the rest was covered by clothing. But looking at these two here, that's what concerns me the most, because it is a modification of a spell. And I am not sure if you're entirely aware of the spell Simulacrum. But for those that aren't aware, for all intents and purposes, this looks to be a clone of somebody. I do not believe this to be the original, and he'll kind of do air marks with his fingers. This person here is not the original. This is a mere copy.
It makes sense.
But looking at all the other augmentations and obviously hearing the things you have said, it makes sense. But the Yuan-Ti shouldn't have possession of these abilities, as you say, not for quite some time. It's quite some time.
278 years. Roughly.
I would probably say more than that.
They were looking into it, but I thought that they were at a point when they had only recently come back.
Well, their numbers would agree. You said you saw several hundred. That tracks, but their advancements do not. Their numbers are correct, but they should still be tribalistic. For the most part, they should not be anywhere near these levels. Their arcane users should barely grasp the abilities of cantrips.
Well, it's not even like, it's not built up, like the Archipelago ain't built up and we don't have the level of technology they had, like you're right, it's not.
No, you you all wouldn't have access to that for some years as well.
So, okay, we've come with information and kind of want to ask some questions of you in regards to Jacob Prescott.
Yes. I have done some study. When you first mentioned the name, I had no idea who this person was. But
Can I insight?
you may.
I'm not good at it, but he's gonna do it.
Roll it anyway!
Mm.
Already.
I'm going to choose to not believe him anyway. I'm not going to do an insight. I just
Yeah.
don't believe
I was
him.
gonna say, he's just
Even
too
if I-
damn hard to
yeah.
read, but allow your instincts to move wherever you wish. Because I was gonna say, the insight more or less gives you a bit more of information to work off of. But I'll never say
Yeah, it's
he is
not
telling
like
the
an
truth.
automatic,
He is
yeah.
telling the lie.
Yeah,
I will tell
he's
you
just difficult to
how
read.
I will tell you how it seems to look like he's looking a bit cagey or he's looking really open and honest. But it's still up to you whether you choose to believe it or not. But no, it's very hard to read. You don't know anything really.
You see, the thing is, things we've sort of looked into and we've sort of investigated what Jacob's doing is he brought a diving bell down to here.
Yes. It was somebody, when I looked at least, it wouldn't have expected to have any significance on the Grander Archipelago here, but it seems he has potentially allied himself with an unknown great power, and I believe that is the potential cause. As for the reason why he's hunting myself, I don't know yet.
He seems to be.
Not.
I was killed in a ritual trying to summon you.
Yes. But whatever he works for or with is not myself, but maybe he is convinced it is in my name.
I'm just gonna put it out there. I haven't seen a Dragonborn like you before. You're a great power, and you live deep under the sea.
Yes.
Are you an entity? Are you something greater than a Dragonborn that lives under the sea?
I believe that is relatively obvious without an explanation. That there is a lot more that goes on here that a mere mortal would do, yes?
Yes.
Oh, apologies. Sorry.
No,
I just
go
wanted to
for
ask,
it, Master.
could you bring Prescott here?
I could, yes, if I so desired. Although I had no intention to. Do you require it? For any reason?
I just
If
sink
he
cards on the
attempted to
table.
if he attempted to murder you in a ritual, I do not
we
wish-
nearly killed him.
I'm more worried about potential combat causing issues here for yourselves. The walls here were to be damaged, disrupted.
So you're saying that you could teleport a man but not stop them?
I
If they
could,
so
but
to people.
it doesn't stop things happening before I am able to react. Everyone has their reaction times and speeds. It only takes a second, even less, to kill everybody here.
Okay. Then my
I-
alternate question would be, do you believe... If you're not saying that you're going to teleport in here so we can have a frank and honest conversation...
I'm
with him, that
willing
we
to.
can
I am
go
just worried, considering the history that Josiah has just presented. I'm worried about a confrontation. If you can assure me that that is not going to happen, I can bring him here, but I am just cautious.
I won't. And he'll hold his hands up like, I won't do anything.
I just think that 3 different sets of... so, us, yourself, and him are now interested in fighting against the Yuan-Ti. It makes sense for more of a war room conversation. and maybe getting some cards on the table, because it seems like we've all been operating under assumptions for far too long. I'd like some actual facts.
I mean, I have no interest in directly confronting the Yuan-Ti, or at least I didn't at this time, but I will certainly facilitate a place where you may discuss with him if you both are of the same alignment.
What, you don't want to stop them?
He means
Despite-
directly. I think he's more than happy to.
I had no
Correct me if I'm
intent.
wrong, Rocky.
I miscalculated their capabilities, and I didn't foresee the need to intervene with them for centuries more.
Can I ask? It might be impolite. I don't know. I haven't dealt with more than mortal things before.
Please, it is obvious. It is painfully obvious the confusion and mistrust. Please, I would rather you just be frank at this point.
Well, yeah. What would a mortal call you? What would?
I have gone by many names, but my true name is, and correctly is, Archaea. But you would refer to me as a great old one, potentially.
Ah,
And you're saying that you aren't working with him?
No, I am not.
there's another great old one.
This
Yeah,
is what-
we need to
Not
get this.
immediately.
This is what concerns me, because it means there is a second.
You don't have
You
a
said-
brother, do you?
No, I do not. I have a mother,
Okay.
but I do not have any siblings, nor offspring. Apart from the daughters which I created.
Mm.
I mean, yeah, sailors' tales expect great old ones to have more tentacles, I guess. So
He might just be wearing an image we don't want him to show us his true form. Let's just say that. Thank you very much, but no thanks.
yeah,
It could drive you mad. Just
Yeah.
saying, we are mortals. Yeah, let's not mess
you,
with things that we don't want to mess with.
you do a
Yep,
good
yep,
enough
Please.
job of that already.
Do not confuse me with the eldritch, kin. My ancestry does lie in more of draconic.
Okay, interesting.
So,
You may be more aware of my mother's name, Tiamat.
Do I know that name?
yeah, can I do a check?
I was going to say, can I do a check as well?
Go for it.
You all want to do one.
I'm guessing you've got no
Honestly,
chance,
Dina.
right?
We
No,
will.
Liam,
we
I will allow you, bud.
What's this?
Okay. Just a
What
normal
are we
roll.
rolling?
History
History?
check. History or religion? He has mentioned he's a potential deity, so...
History or religion? So,
Hey, that could have gone worse.
Wee woo, wee woo.
Oh, damn.
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay, I'm going to explain these two differently because obviously the check gets different information. So,
cool.
going to start with Novari. Novari, you are very much aware of the name Tiamat. You are, but you are more closely aware with the many dragon cults and other dragons that their names are like told across time and history and are living, some ancient dragons living today, that live under servitude of Tiamat and revere her as a god. There have been many cults that in the past have tried to worship her and bring her to the present, which have been thwarted throughout history by multiple heroes of past. It is said that Tiamat did exist pre-Krieg, as dragons were present. Like, although Dragonborn were not present, dragons as creatures were. And it is said that they were created by Tiamat. You don't know too much
Quickly.
more, but obviously Tiamat's name is often spoken with caution and fear, and is usually not a great thing.
What?
Rose, are you going to speak then? 'Cause you cut out, I think.
Hides. Oh, sorry. Would I know where it said that where she hides?
Oh, we got Robo Rose.
Would you know where
Not
she
gonna
lies, did you say?
Hello?
Sorry, you've gone robotic-y. I would say there is many speculations to where Tiamat's true form lies, like in the physical plane, but there is no conclusive proof. It's almost like a Bigfoot type situation. It's like a Bigfoot thing where there's tons of theories but nothing concrete. It's a constant, aloof mystery.
Tiamat killed my livestock.
It's not
Yeah. You do
So
kind of get that dumb
like,
bullshit.
where it,
Vlad. Right, Rose, I'm going to ask kindly, take 5 while your mic fixes itself, because I think there's something wrong with your internet. You are going robot as fuck.
She gone. She resetting.
Yeah. Vlad, you would be very aware of the name Tiamat as a goddess to be feared of and to be extremely cautious of, and in many cases any semblance and signs of Tiamat is usually attempted to be smushed and wiped out because of how dangerous this god could be if she was ever to return. The one who created the dragons and the one that seeks to wreak havoc on this world entirely. She is almost irredeemably evil from the perspective of Mount Olympia. No, Mount Celestia, sorry. Mount Olympia is Greek mythology. What the fuck? Mount Celestia, sorry. She is completely shunned and to be thwarted and ended. Yeah, reviled. Again, there is no known and documented sightings outside of cults that have sprang up in the name of which inquisitions and crusades have been led against with the aid of heroes.
hello?
Hello, welcome back. We can hear you fine now.
Am I better? Way!
Much better.
I thought if I leave and come back, it'll help.
Always does.
Hmm.
Did you hear what I said when I answered you about...
Yeah. I got it. Yeah.
Did you have a follow-up for that?
So it's not like Forgotten Realms where it's like everyone knows that she's where she is. Okay, cool.
No,
I'm cool with
because
that.
obviously I have to
Different
fit
world.
it into my world, yeah. No, it's kind of like a
completely
Bigfoot
agree.
thing. There has been plenty of people trying to find her, both for good and bad reasons. Some to potentially slay, some to potentially revive, some to maybe even lay, depending on the bard. I don't know. Some people are into that shit.
Well,
Cool.
multiple heads is better than one.
On the paper that's on the table, I'm going to flip over one of them and I'm going to sketch out the image that I've been seeing on Prescott's like flags of the.
Well, you know
The
it matches because the Iron
Oh,
Tower
well,
matches because Josiah has Loxana's pendant, because hidden on it was, remember, Loxana's name. Josiah physically has as his focus sort of thing Loxana's actual pendant that she no longer possesses at the moment, and it does match. It is the same symbol.
So if you are not working with Prescott, oh sorry, Captain.
I was just going to say, who's Tiamat? I feel like that's something I should know and I don't know, but...
Oh, big evil dragon god? Created all dragons.
It's the vaguest of descriptions, but her words do speak truth. My mother created me, as well as pretty much every dragon that has and will ever exist in this world. And she is...
But please note...
It makes sense, you're a dragon. Right, yes, I see now.
There are dragons of both good and dark, though. I have heard stories of gold dragons who give blessings and stuff like that. I believe it is only those that are coloured, not... I've never heard of an amethyst dragon before, so...
That is because I am the only one of my kind.
Hence no siblings.
Mother Mother attempted to make New Credence eons ago. She made chromatics and the metallics, as you have just mentioned, both with opposite sides of the coin in temperament and behavior and mannerism. She did, at one point, decided to try and make those that towed the line between. I am the only one that she did create that do such a thing. We were going to be known as the Gemstones, or the Stones, or however you wish. Fortunately, after we was created, she was thwarted through means of humans, and she turned her back on the process entirely, leaving myself to be the only one ever created.
Okay. I have more questions on that maybe at another time, but I feel like we are getting...
Essentially, the way I'm going to explain it lore-wise, Tiamat, for each type of dragon, there's like a primal dragon, which is the first. So, like, for every red dragon in existence, there is the direct son or daughter, depending of Tiamat, of a red dragon. And they are gods in their own right, do you know what I mean? They're not as powerful as Tiamat, but they are gods.
They're entities, yeah.
Yeah, this, assuming what he's saying is true, Arkier would be the primal dragon of the amethyst dragon type. Assuming what he's saying is true, I'm just explaining that, obviously.
Mm-hmm. And you created your daughters?
Yes, I've been isolated, well, I was isolated for an extreme amount of time, and my mind has wandered for many, and put my work into this facility and my daughters.
Could I ask you something? Why did you make humans? Other humans?
They are human, yeah.
Yeah, why humans?
Because during the raids, before the Krieg, as you would understand it, when my mother was assaulted when I was but a hatchling, I was taken by them during these crusades, these raids, and the person that I have formed my daughters to be of is the person who reared me, at least for a time.
Oh, buddy.
It is a way to honor her, the life she gave to me, and the chance she gave me to facilitate all of this. It is my way of honoring her memory by making her live these multiple lives as these different people.
Okay.
Which is also how I come to understand how this one is not normal, pointing at the head.
Yes.
Not the same process, mind you, but I reckon game recognizes game.
He doesn't say that.
No, he doesn't. That was more a bad thing. But no, he recognizes the trademarks of.
Yes. I do clones. These are clones too.
Yeah, I can recognize the similarities.
Nivara clears her throat as they're like talking and being all nice, and she goes, whilst this is really lovely and it's very interesting to find out more about you, we have a problem. Can we get back on track, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any of us are going to hurt Jacob, and I did try and leave him a note to try and extend an olive branch.
I have more questions before we do, if we're going to do this. And I'm going to point at the sketch of the Iron Tower. Do you know this symbol?
It's mine.
Why is he using it?
I think that would be something I would very much like to understand myself. It seems he's been using this symbol for a while, at least. Looks embedded in him, but I did not bear this symbol to him.
Could one of your daughters, like Loxana, chose me? Could one of your other daughters have chosen him?
It is potential, but I do not believe they have. As I said, Prescott carries the stink of an entity of a similar power level to my own. And for as much as my daughters are powerful, they are not that. Did you say what's Zif?
Yeah, she just goes, who's Sif?
Zif is an archfiend that Loxana was paired with during her training to become a patron as a warlock.
Okay, okay.
We've probably
So
found that out
does
before,
Zif
haven't
work-
we?
You have, yes.
Yeah, we know this already. Yeah.
Can
I
I
think
just-
she was probably trying to catch him up.
Ah, okay.
Can I just, for Ben's sake, this is out.
Yeah.
Does that mean the way you described it, she was like on work experience to learn how to be a patron?
Yep. Paired with.
Okay, just to clarify.
Right, essentially, Loxana is patroned to Zif. Zif is giving power to Loxana, and then Loxana is giving that power to you. You've got second-hand powers.
Yeah, well, no, I knew that. I knew I was in a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, no, because what it is, when it was explained before, the reason why Loxana, at the point she did reach out to you, was when she was experiencing issues with her patron Zif, and she used the powers to reach out and maybe try and find aid. Which you've since found out she's currently in a catatonic state, as Zif has currently taken the soul of Loxana hostage while they were doing a process in the Hells. Loxana did. Yeah. No, you did, because it got mentioned in telepathy between Naivar and.
No, I didn't tell anybody. Oops, I forgot to do that.
It was said out of character at least, so this is out of character for Ben.
It's out of character.
But what it is, Loxana was doing a commune with Zif, and she did it out of body. She moved her soul into the Hells to commune directly. The problem is, Zif has done something and can't let her return to her body. And Arkier did mention that he doesn't wish to intervene because it's kind of the natural process and order.
Yeah.
He could, quite easily, snap his fingers and, like, break the chains, but he doesn't want to. You get the feeling that everything's a giant experiment to him, including his daughters to a degree. And basically, he's studying, he's observing, he doesn't want to interfere. Which is, again, backed up by what he mentioned about the Yuan Tio. He said he doesn't necessarily want to intervene. He didn't. He's like, calculations are all skewy and stuff like that, he said.
So, Loxana was attached to Zif.
Yes. Still
Desire is attached to Loxana.
Yes.
Is Zif attached to anybody? Does it continue going up the pyramids?
I would imagine she would be at least subservient, but not connected how you're probably entirely thinking of to Asmodeus, considering he is the head archfiend of the Hells. All archfiends respond to. There are others, yes, but when you're talking the head of the head, Asmodeus usually would spring to mind, but there could be other steps into the process, but I am not too learned of that. No. Loxana told me the name of the patron she was taking on. I did not pry too much, as she requested not to.
Okay. We found some notes in Prescott's studies that smelt of both fiend and deep speech. They smelt of fiend, but used deep speech, like a great old one might do. So, is there anybody that could be both?
Ooh, that's a question. Fuck.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do. Naya's wants answers now.
No, we're going for it. We want more.
We've been messing around, going, we can't do it, and now we're just like, right, give us the information.
What do we want? We want law. When do we want it? Now.
I do not believe so, no. Typically, great old ones fall under the category of they are neither celestial nor fiendish in nature, and or are forgotten to time for the most part, whether willingly or not. I am not aware of any living great old ones that contain fiendish energies.
That are dead. Okay.
Ones
okay.
that
Okay.
were to exist have since been killed, yes. Irreparably.
So there might be a partnership. Or
Potentially.
they're
You said
working
you
with the
saw
Fiends
these
and
on
copying.
contracts, correct?
Mm-hmm.
It could
In terms
be
of-
that the contracts may be backed by the Hells. Contracts are usually backed in a number of ways. Those of Mechanus, those of celestial energies, and even fiendish, depending on the agreement and whoever acted as mediator. It is potential that that could be your missing link. You said the contract was written in deep speech, indicating potential Old One energies, but had fiendish energies inside.
Okay.
That would potentially lean me towards saying a mediator.
And then Ziff has got wind of this and sought to intervene for some reason.
That I do not know, but possible.
Well, that's
So-
all that was explained to me with Loxana looking for champions and sending me after Gissa.
Yes. I have
They're all
not been able...
Falafel
The
Yampu.
problem is, since she was on her expedition, I have not had communal conversation with Loxana. So her motives for reaching out for yourself, I actually do not know. Nor have I pride to ask.
She's not reached out to you since she's been taken.
I believe she would have
Not
tried.
saying anything.
I believe she has tried, but I do not know if she has or not. As I said, I'm reluctant to interfere where possible.
It could be that Loxana is also working with Prescott. They were also searching for the Scalies and diminishing their numbers.
Right. Would be interesting then, because I don't understand why she would have an interest or an intention to hull Yuan-Ti numbers, not at least of her own intentions or interests.
Oh, she's obviously middle management. I'm sorry. Oh, I didn't. That came out very dismissive.
Mate, you just slagged his daughter off. Wow.
Yeah,
Your daughter's running
She
a
got it.
dead-end job, you goon.
dead end. Middle management is very lucrative. I would like to say.
Not for... No, but
Doesn't
don't
get
forget,
to
this man believes every daughter of his can be CE motherfucking O.
I know. She takes it back almost immediately.
Oh,
You see
I
that
know,
she's kind of shocked a little
I
bit.
know. He doesn't really.
I don't think
respond
he's
too
got
much.
emotions to.
Well, actually, if anything, seeing you suddenly panic and backpedal, he probably would get a slight smirk, and you get like a one-off chuckle, like a huh. But that's about it. Just more for the entertainment of just the immediate backpedaling.
Oh, what I mean is that Loxana has sent Josiah after the Yuan-Ti.
Yes.
Another group, Prescott, was looking into the Yuan-Ti and trying to cull their numbers. They'd even captured some. At least one we know of. They also wear the mark of your family. I believe there is some connection here, and I fear that we are missing out on a vital part of information. I don't think we can go further without... And she's kind of looking towards Desire as she's saying up this section, without investigating those...
You said the
potential routes of
Yuan-Ti bore my
information.
mark as well.
No, not the Yuan-Ti.
Just Jacob.
Prescott.
Right, apologies, I misheard. I thought you said the Yuan-Ti and Prescott all bore my mark.
No.
That would have
Just
been
Prescott.
even further confusing. I think it's high time I converse with him and see if I can bring him here.
Desire?
Yeah, I won't do anything.
No, I'm not asking if you will do anything. I'm asking if you are okay with this.
I need to know.
It's going to kind of take a step back out of suitable swinging range. Sort of kind of like,
So
move
shall we
back.
all are we all spreading up, or are we all standing as a group?
Yeah, let's split up a little bit. Let's
Yeah. So kind of circle
yeah,
the room,
yeah.
give him some
Oh,
space.
oh,
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
Arkier will
Sure
kind of like wave his right hand, and you'll just see in a flash he just disappears.
oh, oh, he's gone to go collect him. Breathe.
A few minutes go by. And then,
It's weird he knows exactly where he is right now. No?
Well, it's so weird, I know, but yeah,
Mm,
I know.
you have to believe him. Yeah.
Well, it's moving. We're getting some movement, so let's just.
Strange bedfellows and all that.
with a few more moments later, about 5 to 10 minutes go by. Naivara, you'd be aware 7 minutes and 40 seconds has gone by precisely.
Thank you very much.
You also know the north is facing the door out of the room, by the way, just in case.
Cool. Thank
Actually,
you.
a few more moments go by, and then, with a wave and a shimmer of energy, Arkier returns, and in almost the same place as where your teleportation circle is set up, Jacob Prescott and Arkier both apparate, and Jacob is understandably defensive initially.
Surprised, probably. Very surprised. He's just having a beer in a tavern, and this Amethyst Dragon Ball's like,
turns up.
some mates of mine want to have a chat. Jump through. Oh my god.
In fact, it was 10 minutes suggests it was a bit more like.
Yeah.
We're going somewhere and it'll be okay. And...
Yeah.
Maybe we'll
Cool.
see. No, he just fucking.
Or maybe
like,
it was
on
patron talking to their
he was on the
mama.
loo and you just fucking ported him. You can deal with that one later. Pinch it off. But no, and he immediately like he's back at the minute and like looking and obviously seeing you're all spread out, like almost in like a fanning formation. He's got a hand on his hilt, and Arkier puts his arm across. You told me you would not raise arms, and these have all promised the same. So I brought you here as they wish to converse with you.
Look like again.
God, give me a second.
Like an older. Not like an older version of Desire, but he looks like a classic 40, 50-year-old pirate with like black hair, black beard.
There you go. Ben's got it for me.
Well, that's how the icon and everything was. He looks, looks like a sort of classic black beard sort of figure.
Super stereotypical for the most part, yeah.
Okay.
Jacob.
Josiah? Care to explain where the fuck we are?
I think that's what for Arkier to say.
And then you'll kind of watch him look around the room cautiously, and you'll see him lock eyes with certain things. You see his eyes widen.
What's he locking eyes with when they widen?
The symbols and iconography of Arkier. So this is it. This is the place. Fantastic. And he's kind of almost ignoring you guys a little bit now. As he's kind of like giddy schoolchild, just like gawking.
Wow.
You, Dragonborn, where are we? We are in my home, Jacob. And I believe these have some conversements to have with you, and I also have a couple of questions of my own. Your home? You're this? And kind of gestures to the towers. I am, but you are not conversing with me, mortal. You were conversing with somebody else under my pseudonym. Really? Oh. Do you know who? No, I do not know.
I'm hoping that you would tell us, or we'd figure it out.
But I have means in which I could find out with you. And I hope to find out who has been using my name in vain. Or at least my crests.
My brand.
brand integrity has been ground into the dirt.
Throwing a copyright claim in.
Cease and fucking desist, motherfucker.
The Aldi home brand, it's just Archaea spelt different. Hang on.
It's spelled wrong, yeah.
Well, if you can at least point me in the direction of directly who I've been conversing with, because they have not revealed their name to me as of yet, but I hope to learn soon. That would be very useful. Archaea.
Who told you to do all this shit, Jake? Like, what? How did you? Why did you think it was a good idea to kill people?
I got warned. At least a while ago. Got reached out to. An impending
By who?
threat coming. They never gave me their name, but I've always recognized their voice. Always warned me of a threat that was coming and that I needed to prepare. And they gave me tasks.
Like the sacrifice.
12 people must have been killed to bring forth those that I've been conversing with, to aid in the defense of the archipelago. I always did wonder why that strategic ritual failed. And then I saw you were alive, and I know now. The ritual never succeeded because you never died.
Oh, it sounds like a good thing if you're not actually... Whoever's pulling your strings isn't actually who they say they...
But they were the ones that bore me of interest to the UNT, Scales. And they were right about every step. First saw hints and nods, and then I started to believe, and I set the ritual. Picked those that I thought would not be missed as much. Sorry. So, set it forth.
Does he say that to me?
Yeah.
Right.
Those that had less connections left.
Josiah.
And I was told how to conduct the ritual. And it never worked. It was supposed to bring me great power and summon forth an aspect, an avatar. To help, to purge, to clean. But instead it didn't. Failed. And I thought maybe following the signs of the tower was probably the key to it. But I now wonder if the ritual can still be finished.
Is he looking at me when he says that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's not looking like feverish and like jittery, but he is talking with enthusiasm.
No, when he says the ritual needs to be finished, is it like...
No, he's saying, I wonder if it can still be finished.
Yeah.
He's not
so
saying...
It's not like...
He's not like looking ready to lunge at you or anything, but it's still a really unsettling comment to be said about you.
Yeah, that's... I'm just getting... that's the implication,
no,
yeah.
He's not implying like, I'm gonna jump this table and stab you right now, motherfucker, but he's saying, I wonder if the ritual can still be completed. And he's obviously referring to, by killing the 12th, you are the 12th. There was 12 sacrifices, only 11 died.
May I ask some questions? I'll kind of step forward a little bit.
Of course.
You said that you recognize this voice. Can you describe it to me?
Recognize the what?
The voice, the one that gives you instruction.
Well, I recognize it in the sense that I know when they are conversing with me. I didn't recognize them at first, but I have grown to know them.
Okay. Masculine or feminine presenting? Does it sound more female or male?
Feminine.
Good. Okay. Does it sound like my voice, as in somebody with a specific accent?
It's hard to tell accents exactly because the telepathy tended to be distorted slightly, almost echoed, but I would say that they probably spoke rather softly, in a vague similarity to yourself, but not you. Not at all.
No. I'm sure if we'd met before, this would be a very different conversation. Okay. So you said that you started following just a random voice in your head, no?
I gave word. They first bore promises which I took down to siren calls, potentially. But they started mentioning an impending threat. Yuan-Ti, these creatures would be coming. I didn't know what they were at first. But I started curiously looking into things, going to the islands and looking for signs, and I saw tribes of these creatures. I saw what they were doing with people, and I was foresold that I could bear help in eradicating them, stopping them taking over all of these islands, and keep the status quo, as it were.
Can we clean up the timeline a little? Was it pre or post Charlotte Hinge joining your crew? You heard these voices.
Post.
Okay.
Miss Hinge joined us. Well, she joined us a few months back. Before, probably 2 or 3.
Okay. Then, is it the ritual then you saw evidence of these Yuan-Ti?
No, the ritual was after the Yuan-Ti. It was once I saw the true signs of these creatures, I began to believe what the voices in my mind were saying were true. And it was then when I agreed to do their work for them and help, and that is when we started planning for the ritual.
When you hear these... Sorry?
Just about to say, Zai goes and pick those.
And pick those who what?
That were useless to you or unimportant to you.
It wasn't unimportant to me, Josiah, no. What I meant when I said my comment was I needed to pick people that wouldn't necessarily cause a stir in the crew and elsewhere if they suddenly went missing. You didn't have no attachment to this world, but you had minimal, at least compared to others at the time.
Didn't have an attachment to you all those years.
No, you did, but unfortunately sacrifices are never easy to make.
He just doesn't say anything. You can no one needs a big insight to see he is hurting.
Oh yeah, no, I can fucking imagine, bro. Like it's,
I hearing your father figure saying you could be killed.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, no, like it is like I can. You do like Josiah does sound a bit deflated, like a punch in the gut.
When you hear these voices,
Yes.
is there any other sense? Like, do you smell something? Do you see anything? Do you get a feeling?
I've never smelt or like heard anything out of the ordinary. At one point, they did present themselves as a misshadowed figure, but they have not yet been able to truly present themselves. As they have explained, the ritual that we were going to conduct was to help break the bonds and give them the ability to give further power to myself to be able to cleanse the lands. At the minute, what they are able to do is limited, and they were able to give word of what they needed from me to be able to unleash the binds.
And I fear that you did not understand the full contract, it seems. Okay. You said a shadowy figure.
I was just going to say, who gave you the contracts?
The contracts I made myself, it was of a suggestion to at least aid in the defense. They're all willingly signed, of course, but they give me the ability to put them in catatonic states while we were out of port, essentially making them the sentinels, as it were. Mindless, at least for a time. It's like they were asleep. And just be able to turn it on and off.
Sorry, I was just going to say, you do not see the mirror between you and the auntie?
I don't know, because I don't have to subjugate them in any way. They willingly signed these contracts and willingly gave my permission to do such thing. Miss Hinge, at least, Miss Hinge, until recently, was the one often in control of the security systems. But obviously you dealt with her quite, and I must be quite thankful, actually, for that.
You've what? You are thankful she is dead?
Yes, she was growing rather rebellious in growing months.
Even though you shared a bed, it seems that her heart was with another.
That is because she was made to work for me.
What?
I put her second in command to keep enemies close and your friends close and your enemies closer is the term. She was the bedfellow of somebody who was coming to these islands that I did not appreciate. So I subjugated her to make sure that that person was quelled.
And under your control. It makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we can all... Yep.
She was here to make sure that her future partner never interfered with our doings. But I have no need, because he's dead and so is she. So I do appreciate your help with that. Although I am now down a quartermaster.
Talking of, well, next steps, it looks like you're going to be gunning for me once this meeting's over.
It's interesting and it is complicated because you are tied to the ritual, and I do fear that I cannot complete it without you. And I don't exactly expect you to exactly allow me to. But the problem is to be able to release power great enough to purge them clean. It almost feels necessary.
Well, why don't you take up Archaea on his offer to see what is pulling your strings?
I'm more than happy to. I would love to know more, more intricately the spaces. At least maybe I could potentially find a way to complete the ritual elsewhere, because I did wish, at least in the initial second, that I could complete the ritual without having people raise blades against me. I was hoping to do it quietly and quickly, but the time for that has passed.
Oh dear. Okay, before I try and explain how idiotic everything that you have currently said is. Not you, Archaea, him, and she'll point directly at Prescott.
I say no, not the
fuck, bro.
Not Archaea, but Prescott.
Jacob.
She will literally point. Jake. She's not saying. She has not you, Archaea. Him, basically, and points at Prescott. What he's saying is stupid. Would you mind figuring out who it is pulling his strings? I'd like to see who the puppet master is.
It will take a moment and a bit of energy, but I do wonder if I am able to maybe coax a connection and then leech onto it and maybe tap into the telepathy, as it were.
You are very good at talking telepathically,
yes, and I hope if... Jacob, do you know how means of which you commune with this entity that you speak with? The hope is, if you can reach out and have them reach out to you, I should be able to listen in and maybe leech some information that way. Otherwise, I would be stuck doing God knows how many dead-end chases. I can, yes, but I don't understand. It seems obviously you're working with these, and it's clear that they do not share the same feverish want to clean the lands of these scales. Do you fear that they're not going to betray you at some point? They don't seem as interested in following every pathway to victory.
Betrayal.
Also,
Wow.
you do not know what it means to do whatever you possibly can. You have gone, I'll just murder people. There are other routes to explore first. Maybe you could have done it a better way, but somehow your bloodthirstiness
More than
took
that, he's
over?
arrogant.
I do not mind the arrogancy, though. It is more the sheer belief that some higher power was not going to bend you over and make you its bitch. They do not give power willingly. We know this. So, you can see if I'm going to betray you all, but I guarantee we will not. Right, Captain?
Alright.
I'm sure we can make an arrangement then either way. But
You
you'll
say
all... Shake. But you'll all learn eventually that everything I've done is to stop these creatures from encroaching on these lands, and the 12 seals must be broken in that of a blood right in order to free them. And you will see that soon. When we can get
Wait,
this...
what's that?
Free what? Break the 12 seals in a ritual to bring forth some entity that you did not even know
That
what it
stands
was.
opposite these Yuan-Ti, yes. The Yuan-Ti that seek to wipe us all.
I completely understand that. I just think you could have maybe done a little research first. Just in case you brought through another enemy that would be 10 times worse. Have you not heard of the Krieg or the second coming of the Krieg?
I have heard of many stories, and I did my research. I spent months listening to them, communing with them, checking what they were saying was true before I even made a step. And everything was correct. Everything was verifiable to an almost perfect degree.
But you still do not know who they are.
No. Not yet. But, with our Kair's help here, we're going to learn. And hopefully it will put all of your minds at ease, and maybe then you will consider continuing and helping. And finishing this, and finishing them, once and for all.
Naya will move, because she'd moved forward when she'd been talking. Will move to stand beside Josiah.
And you will see that he will pull out a small stone, and it looks to be encased in platinum. It looks like a cylinder. And have you ever seen those wooden puzzles where it's like the sphere with the spikes and you have to get it out of the wooden cage?
Yeah.
Like, it's that cage, but inside there's like a rough natural cut crystal that looks to be either obsidian or onyx or something like that. It is jet black. And you will see...
Quickly, before you...
Go on.
What's everybody else doing? Are they just standing there watching this with, like, wide eyes? Or are they
Ready,
doing anything in the background?
If there's any attacks made, I'm ready, but I'm not doing any
I
moves.
think it's more emotional vibe check. It's...
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Bit confused.
I'm
kind
just
of.
there. I'm watching. Weapon just
Always
in my
watching.
hand, but not drawn.
Like, you got your hand on the hilt of your mace,
Yeah.
where it's tucked. Yeah. Wary, cautious, but not attacking. Got it. Cool. You can carry on, Danny. Sorry, I just wanted to know. Yeah. Sorry, Carl.
So, communing by what he does is he grasps the two ends of the cylinder in his hands and then puts the fingers between the grates and puts the fingertips on the crystal, and you see him close his eyes for a moment and take 2, 3, 4 deep breaths. And you'll see him mumbling something without making sound, but he's like lip syncing it as he's obviously trying to speak to someone. And you'll watch Archaea's eyes just squint ever so slightly as he's just intently watching. Intently watching. He's intently watching. And then all of a sudden, Jacob just takes a sharp intake of breath after about 5 or 6 seconds. And then you'll just watch him, like, he's keeping like a lot of air in his lungs and his breathing goes quite quickened, but he's only doing very shallow breaths. He's like doing tiny breaths with his chest puffed right up. Yes, that's it. Speak with it as long as you can, and I will do my best. And you'll watch as he kind of, with a couple of gestures and waves of his hands in like semantic components, you'll see him trying to pry in. And just all of you, just be ready for anything.
Okay.
That includes.
Also, we slept.
Yeah. I'm not saying rally, but I'm saying just be prepared to.
Yep.
Don't worry.
You'll see Archaea reach out and just one of his taloned like claws just reach through the bars and just put a claw tip on the crystal inside as well. And his eyes are open, but you'll see his eyes like darting left to right, almost as if he's like intently reading like a giant tome.
I'm going to take a step forward and I'm going to cast this on Josiah.
Okay.
Okay.
And you'll hear, and you'll see Jacob Prescott has stopped mumbling now, but he's seemingly potentially in communication with something because he's got an intense focus. And the same as Archaea, and you'll kind of see Archaea almost as if as his eyes are darting, you'll almost see him tilt his head ever so slightly towards him, almost as if he's keenly listening. A few more moments. This goes on for 30 seconds, a minute, minute and a half, 2 minutes, 2.5, 3 minutes. And on the 4th minute, Archaea will grab the crystal out of hands of Jacob, and like Jacob will like a synaptic shock will like be jolted backwards, like he's just been like touched a live wire and he gets thrown backwards. No, and he will go running for his door.
What?
And, like,
What?
He's running out of the door of like the welcome commune area, and he's bolting down.
Who's running?
Archaea, and he's holding the crystal, and he's heading towards the main elevator shaft, which is in the center of the facility, which you guys have traversed, because his like laboratory and workshops are on the bottom floor. You guys are currently on the top, which is where the guest wing is, and then all the layers in between is where all the different daughters live. But you don't know which floor
run after him.
Yeah.
Yeah, follow.
But then I'm also like, what do we do with fucking him? Like, he's just left me here.
He has to come with us, right? What do we do?
Oh, no.
Archaea, please stop. Explain.
Oh no, Jacob is getting up and chasing Archaea because he
Oh,
said,
okay. Like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. We're all
We'll
going.
do it together.
That's an easier decision.
yeah, no,
Yeah, okay.
because as Jacob like lands back and he's like, fuck, what the fuck?
Is it-
Archaea, get the fuck back here now! Because he's basically just stole his communion tool.
We're following.
Oh, is he? Right, okay,
He snatched the crystal out of Jacob's hands, and kind of like was like,
yeah.
no. and then started
I'm
running.
looking at it after
I
Arcaea.
thought, I thought Arcaea brought that out, not Jacob.
No.
Right, okay, that makes it right. Okay.
Jacob's. It was Jacob's means of communing.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
the
makes
tool
more
he
sense
used
now.
to commune with.
Yeah. Go.
Is it a black shard of obsidian? Did you say, Danny?
In what looks like a platinum cage, yes. And he was reaching his fingers inside of the obsidian and putting his fingertips on it.
Oh, I put my money on Tiamat. I'm just going to say it. I
Mummy?
feel like this one, Mummy. But, I'm taking after.
Yeah, we're all running.
Yeah.
And obviously, hearing you guys running, Arcaea will wait a few seconds.
We'll keep up. We'll keep up. Just don't leave us behind. We wanna. Yeah,
And
we'll
you'll see him with a couple of hand gestures, and the elevator starts to descend. And Jacob kind of pushes Arcaea and going, "What the fuck are you playing at? Give me that back!" And Arcaea kind of like holds it behind him. Not after what I saw, no. And if what I think is true, this is a big problem. And this also explains a lot. I have a number of creatures here under my containment that I keep here so they don't get out. I felt the signatures of something that I believe should still be here under my control.
Oh no!
You mentioned that
basically
it explains a lot. Would you mind
think NCP containment breach.
No, I was going to say he's been clever guild. He's been clever guild. Like.
Oh no! The T-Rex has gone out!
The raptor's gone.
Okay, could you explain for those of us who do not know what the fuck you are on about? Like, what is this creature, this individual?
I keep a number of creatures here under my control, those that have that are of significant danger. This...
Does it have a name?
No, it doesn't go by a name, but... give or take about 2,000 years ago, this creature did roam the archipelagos here and wrought havoc. Is
it a squid thing?
It is aquatic in nature, yes, but it is form ever-shifting.
Okay. You seem really scared, which I get, and I am understanding.
I am scared because I thought my containment was flawless. That means something or someone has done something here, and I do not like it. And this is all as you're descending. The only people that I thought could get here was people like yourselves that have been given access. But they don't have access to my elevators and to my containment. My daughters do, but I usually only ever allow them containment when, and only when I am present.
Could one do it without your knowledge?
I do not believe so, but the fact that this thing has been reaching out and he's kind of holding the obsidian up tells me that obviously they have some means, or this has some means of reaching out. Something somewhere has gone extremely wrong.
So this shifter in the...
And the elevator just kind of stops on the floor, and he will...
That's the next map loaded then.
I don't have a map for this.
No, I meant like the elevator cutscene. Like,
I don't think Danny was expecting this, but it's very cool. I've got to say, Danny, this is very epic, cinematic.
Well, the thing is, I kind of discredited any involvement with Arcaea because of how just sus you were of him. So it was just like, okay, whatever. I never put too much more thought into it.
We've gone the other side of it. I think after the 12.5, I'm just like, I need to figure out what the fuck is going on. I don't know about anybody else.
Moving through the small workshop where you guys met him before for the first time when one of the doors brought you in, the cleric one. Moving through, you can go through a couple more doors, and then the final door, which seems to have thick, heavy chains and seals, and even spiritualist tape markings, like with different symbols, like old traditionalist. There are many different chains and marks here because there are many different things in here. Normally, you shouldn't be in here, but situation's different. And you're seeing with these hands waving and gesturing, and things are moving and parting, chains are moving and unbolting and unlocking. The symbols are just waning and like fading as he's obviously deactivating the dozens and dozens of failsafes that he has in place. And as the door...
Is Prescott still with us?
Oh yeah.
He's
He's pissing.
Okay. Yeah, RKE is taking his focus. He's like, gimme.
Yeah, kind of.
Should we be stopping him? That's the question.
I'm not constantly going back into Jacob, but yeah, Jacob is like pissed off and like demanding answers and trying to get his focus back, but RKE is obviously not letting him, and he's got more than enough ability to stop him. Fucking God.
I can understand at the point why he might be wanting to get it back. Don't forget that, like, Prescott is displaying something where he doesn't know what he's been talking to, but he's been following it for ages. It's a little bit of brainwash going on as well, we're going to see. So,
and yeah, and as the doors open,
understandable.
You'll see these, like, large, like, and these are all different materials. Like, some are stone, some are iron, some are lead. You can see these large boxes that are about 4 by 4 by 4 cubes. Each have different containment strategies on them as you pass through and pass by, as he rushes past all these different creatures, and you'll see many of them are labeled, and obviously you haven't got exactly the time to stop and read them, but you would assume that these are all powerful creatures of some descriptor or another. Some are named, some aren't, some are only based off description, some, you know, and the timelines are all different on them. But you'll get to one of the crates, which looks to be, as you're going through, there's to the side left and right, and there's one on the floor, then there's a shelf, and then there's one above, so there's 2 either side in rows. You go down about 20 rows, and then on the right-hand side, the lower one, you will get to the thing, and it looks to be a lead box that has got thick, heavy chains, and the chains are inscribed with what looks like fiendish script. But what you notice is that parts of the lead have started to crack and splinter, and you can just see a bit of black ichor that's just dripping out of the cracks and is leaking onto the floor. Not much, probably a glass worth, like a pint glass worth. No. Don't you fucking dare. And he will start to move the chains around the cracks and like attempt to really inspect these cracks and damages.
Yes. Try not to open it, just in case it's still in there. Wait. Yeah. I'm just saying, we cannot take a look inside in case that's what it's waiting for to get out, right?
Well, as you're saying that, he's checking and looking and inspecting.
I've got my eyes on Prescott. If he goes for that box, I'm stabbing him.
I am also.
Oh,
yeah.
Wait.
And after
Still want to open it.
after about 3 or 4 seconds, you'll see RKE go, yes, and you'll see him produce out of his pocket like a fucking, you know, like the clown with the handkerchief type thing where it just keeps coming.
Mm-hmm.
Out of his pocket, he pulls out another set of thick, heavy chains, whereas these are soaked in what looks like a bandage type material that's like wrapped around all the chains individually, like super intricate, but they're wet with something, like a liquid of some kind. And as he goes to wrap, he throws the chain around, and as he goes to basically put the padlock piece on the actual crack, what happens is, as he does it, there's a chain reaction, and in a flash of light, there is a small explosion. Can all of you make dexterity saving throws?
Uh-oh. Do I get my
You get advantage, yes. You are looking at it, yeah.
Okay.
Almost as if whatever he used caused this reaction. Holy shit, Liam.
I might be able to get a little bit of saving from this.
Expect for him to have known that this might happen.
Oh my god. Barnet.
I'm guessing that's a fail.
That is a fail.
I can't help.
Okay,
I'm very sorry.
default to it.
Right, Uldar fails as well.
You've gone up to 7?
Everyone has passed bar Barnet and Uldar. So, everyone else is going to take half. The rest of you, the 2 of you are going to take full. 21 force damage and half to Nivara, Vlad, and Josiah.
Okay. 10 or 11.
And
which
those
one
who
rounded up?
round down, so it's less.
Okay, it's 10.
Yeah, 10 for the halved. And for those that failed, you get knocked prone as well. Arcair is going to use a legendary resistance to just save it, and he takes a quarter of the damage because he's resistant and then saved.
Ow.
And in a bright flash of light, you'll like quickly come to your senses, and you'll see that the box shattered. And Prescott
No,
Prescott's gone.
Oh, you nanas.
What? I'm sorry. So you tried to put a chain on it and it blew up?
Kind of just he's like 1,000-yard stare at the minute. He's like Vietnam flashbacks for him. They were ready for it. Chains that I put on should have worked. They should have sealed the wound. Unless... oh, you fucker. They knew I would use those chains, and they'd set themselves up to react.
Okay. What does this mean?
I may have just allowed to walk free a rather powerful entity back on the material plane once more. And he's this is the first time you see genuine emotion. Yeah. But not fear as in, like, oh shit, I'm gonna die, but like just genuine fear of what have I just done.
At least this person wants to cleanse of the Yuan-Ti, but at the same time, we now have a powerful entity. You trapped him once, we can do it again. Right?
Yes, I believe we can. But this creature has got unknown motives at this point. I can't imagine the amount of intent before.
It's fine. He used...
So, what was this bullshit about the 12 seals then? Is that...
The 12
I
seals...
don't think that you need to worry about him really.
The 12 seals referred to the seals in this room, and on that box there are many seals that I have put in place, and most creatures come under multiple, but not all. That creature came under 12 of them.
So that's what the rituals were for. Okay.
To break the seals. That is why the box was damaged. The majority of the seals that were there to protect this creature were faded and broken. That's why the box was damaged. I attempted to place further seals. The chain that I went to place is a non-stop gap, and it is one that usually covers all of the creatures in this room, bar one or two. It anticipated that I was going to use it and set themselves up to react accordingly. I believe that last seal was just broken without your death needed. Through that means.
Okay. It is not all bad. It is bad, but not all bad.
Your clock has shifted.
I'm just thinking as much. I'm going to go in and I'm going to look at my watch. What
through.
time is it?
What
It should be at the last point.
The last point, I believe
Sorry,
it was 48 minutes past, right?
42 I had. It went back 3 minutes. It was at
Oh,
quarter
yes,
to
you're
back
right.
3 minutes. I don't know if mine
It's just,
is...
it's
'cause
just,
it went back to
it's just gone
4:40,
forward 10 minutes.
11:42. Sorry, forward 10 minutes.
10 minutes. It's
Oh,
now,
fucking
it
shit.
now should be displaying 11:52.
Okay. Okay. Right. Okay, so we obviously knew that... We all knew, right, that the 11 seals had been broken, the final one has just been broken, and that thing has been released. Okay, we knew this, but for some reason... When you put that thing on, it exploded, and... it got out. How the fuck did it start speaking to him in the first place?
I need to make some very, very cautious and careful checks. I do believe we are in a spot of bother.
Yes. It's really bad.
Yes.
Because now we have two big issues to be worrying about. Maybe one will take care of the other one, but still bring up around the end of time.
Please let us
Or
speak a
something.
way
I
out of
don't
this
know.
room, because
Yeah,
I
right, let's
do not
go
wish to
back.
disturb any of the others.
Okay.
Hey, I'm sleeping.
No,
Can you guys
just,
keep it
like,
down? We'll have a, like,
turns,
abomination
walks to the
down here.
left. Like, yeah, straight into the left.
Well, no, you can
Trying
go
to
back
think
to the
of-
workshop. Like, he just doesn't want you
Right,
guys to be
okay.
in the room with all the other powerful creatures, because he doesn't want the risk of further contamination, is kind of his point. If one managed to break free, you guys being present could potentially spell risk. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't want to take that chance.
Okay.
So basically, you're ushered back a couple rooms and back into the workshop where you first met him.
Okay. So something has been mimicking Altair,
Something
right?
here. Something has been here in my facility that must have either considerable power or significant cloaking abilities. I have always been
Or
meticulous.
one of your daughters.
No, it is not one of my daughters.
You are an intelligent being of omnipresent abilities. You must still consider that one of your daughters may have been the reason this thing got out.
I have the means to telepathically and neurologically link with my daughters at any moment if need be. I know it is not one of them. That I am certain.
Then do it.
He's already has.
I have.
Though one of your daughters is trapped in an alternate dimension when she had
Yes.
conversations with
Yes.
a fiendish entity that you linked her up to. You do not think that they might be able to resist some of your bonds? This thing was able to hide under plain sight for some period of time.
But this creature also thwarted the attempts of the ritual by saving him. So they are clearly not aligned, otherwise they would have allowed the ritual to go ahead.
I am not saying it is that daughter. What I am saying is there could be another amongst your 11, 12 daughters?
Let me double check.
Other than Noxana, is there 11 or 12? Is the total number 12 or 13?
I'm
not sure.
double checking for you.
Yeah. It just might be something
There
to...
are 13 daughters, and you have met 5 of them so far. That's
Yeah.
including Loxana, who's catatonic.
I do not believe it is Loxana. What I'm just saying is that you said that there were certain entities that had access to yours. Your daughters are amongst those. It makes sense to investigate all avenues that someone might be able to hide from you, in the same way that this creature was communing with an entity outside of this place, and you didn't notice.
No. I do intend to do a very deep clean of my security systems here. But that will take me
Not
time,
just
but I do
clean.
intend to get to the bottom of how this has happened.
Good. You should really do that. I think it will give us more evidence if we can find out how it
It is going to take
interact.
time because my systems are complex, but I intend to scrub every last inch. Every rune, every mark, every item, every door.
Good. Okay.
So,
So.
what do we do now?
I don't know.
Check that the sky's still there.
One moment.
Fucking hell.
I have a question. We've got time. We've still got a little time till that. So, questions. Okay, you said that this thing could shapeshift. How did you capture it and lock it away?
Managed to bait it. It had gathered itself a position of power amongst the Sahuagin. I managed to corner it when it had made itself powerful enough that it could not be hidden.
Sahuagin, I believe they are in the southwest of the archipelago.
Yes, as well as many other places in the archipelago. There are 4 facilities, but this creature seems to have allegiances with many different creatures. It was at this time It was with the Sahagin when I captured it. Before then, I had known it to be in league with other creatures, I think even goblins at one point. It has made league with many creatures, although it does often tend to favour those of aquatic nature. For some reason it is opposed to the UMT, or at least potentially, given what we have heard. I think the important thing right now is to find out what purpose it is currently trying to fulfill. It has been locked away for millennia.
Yep.
So I do not quite understand what its purpose is, who it is going to align with outside of Mr. Prescott, and what it is intending to do with its power once it has ceded it.
His power in the archipelago is the Baroness.
Oh yeah, we'll take care of her shortly. What is it?
But is that where this entity is going to go?
Potentially. We'll just have to kill her.
Can you scry on Jacob?
I can, yes. Although limited amounts of times I can a day.
Can I ask a question before we go down this route? Because if not, I just want to know, what is it? You said that you were a deity of some sort. What is it? Is it fiendish? Is it from the abyss? What are we potentially dealing with? Not just a shape-shifting thing. Do you know what I mean? What could we be dealing with?
From what I understand, its origin seems to be that of the Astral Sea.
Okay. Can I do a history check to see what I might think it could be? And I don't mind a list.
Yes, you can, Rose. Please roll me a history check. Yeah.
It's okay. I'm panicking.
Okay.
Oh. 13. I'm guessing that list is quite long.
The problem is, it's not an area of your expertise, so you don't know any by like name, but you are aware the Astral Sea is home to many abominations and many a creature, whether they're there from birth, by nature, or exile. That is variant, but often all things will be malformed and twisted in the Astral Sea, as is the way of its chaotic nature and awful disposition to those that are there for too long. The problem is, many of the fucked up old ones, as you mentioned, like the Eldritch abominations and stuff, do in some cases call places like this home. And the problem is, the range of what it could be is so vast due to the corruption of the Astral Sea on creatures like this, or people, or creatures that are birthed there, is so grand. It is ever changing.
Oh my god.
The range is so wide.
That's why it was deep speech. We could be dealing with like Yogoloth or
yeah, things like that are a good
big. No, I don't think of Cthulhu, but we could be dealing with the King in Yellow. You know, the Black Goat. Any of those fun Eldritch horrors.
Yay!
Which makes sense.
Fun.
Yay!
Oh no, you're all gonna die! Yay!
Josiah says, so we should have killed Jacob.
Yeah,
I didn't know. I thought
Out
it
of
would
character.
be the same thing.
Out of character. You guys got bait and switched by killing Charlotte because she was
the good one.
She was stopping him. Yeah.
So then
she was undermining his efforts, and you killed her. That's
But
why she was rebelling.
Oh my god! That's why I lost time.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it was losing time because we were killing off people that were working against the Yuan-Ti. Ah! I'm so annoyed.
I got a feeling I'm going to be shouted at later.
No, I'm more annoyed with myself at the moment, so never mind. Cool.
But no, as Jacob mentioned, yeah, no, Priscilla was... No, Charlotte, sorry, not Priscilla. What the fuck did I get Priscilla from? That's fucking Circus. What the fuck? Charlotte was held under duress and servitude to undermine Wade, who was coming to establish order, and he didn't want Wade interfering with him.
And it worked.
She never left. She was taken.
She shouldn't have been a bitch, though. Like, if she'd communicated in any way, halfway decent way,
Well,
We
yeah.
met her on a boat and she kicked off at us for killing Wade rather than going, oh, by the way, guys, this guy's
Well, she
controlling
didn't kick
me,
off you
or
for
give him
killing
something
Wade. She blamed you for getting him killed.
She tried to kill Vlad!
She was grief-stricken.
Well,
Oh, grief-stricken, but even if
Not
you're the most
ever-
grief-stricken, you still
yeah.
have your mental faculties a little bit. But anyway...
Oh no, I
we
described her
divided
as
off the
trembling
point.
with rage, and like
I know.
she was red-misted, like she couldn't see
I
you
know,
guys.
but that's her
Okay.
fault because you don't have like when police officers go to the front door and say, "Sorry, your husband's killed in a traffic accident." Someone
You don't punch him in the
pull a knife-
face.
Yeah, someone doesn't pull a knife out. Like,
Yeah.
I'll stab you then.
Yeah, but in that same vein, the officers weren't in the car with the guy that died.
Oh, well, yeah, true.
Either
Okay,
way,
then
either
let's do
way,
that.
I think most
either
people
way,
would go, okay.
Yeah.
back to right here, right now.
I don't know about anybody else, but I really need a fucking drink right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, we
Yeah.
need to regroup and think what's going to happen next.
Okay.
I
Let's
you're
say,
completely
okay,
right, Vlad.
can you scry and see where Jacob is?
I can,
Yeah.
yes.
'Cause
I'm going to
that
do
might
that,
help.
and then I think it would be best for you all to retire back to your vessel, at least while I do a deep clean of this facility. I think
Should-
the best thing
Yeah.
you all can do is maybe look for any signs of where Jacob Prescott is going from here. Maybe
Yes.
see if you can intercept him, but obviously I will get some more information as and when I can scry.
We can obviously communicate, okay, backwards and forwards. Are you on our side? I guess is the best question to ask. You seem to be more sitting on the outskirts of all of this issues. You said you didn't know what to deal with the UNT for centuries.
I
yet.
didn't think I would have to, no, but the problem is the release of the creature from here is it's on myself. I need to put that back in its box. I can at least
So
help
Can
with
intervene, though.
I can at least help with that. And I can facilitate aiding you from afar to deal with these UMT, but I do not wish to interfere directly. My
What
fight
I
will be
mean
with
is
this
really-
eldritch creature.
Understood. In the discussions of the Eldritch being, can I understand that we have some at least... What is the word? Alliance.
Yes.
Good. Do you scry?
He will go to one of his
See.
drawers and pull out a crystal orb, one that is familiar to spellcasters that would be needed for casting scry.
Right, yep.
Jacob is going to roll his save. Very good. Take into account
At least
all
it's
the
a big
modifiers.
Well, he's now familiar with him,
I
isn't he? So,
think. Yep.
And you'll see his eyes mist over like a blind man's eyes glazed and fogged as he puts his hands on the orb and he's seemingly connected. Let me double check with Scry. I want to see, is it like with Familiar where he can talk to you, or does he have to wait until he's finished and then tell you what he's seen? I want
I
to know.
think he can still talk, but I don't think it shuts it all down. He can't hear us, I don't think. I think he's viewing something. It's like, turning on the TV. You can't interact with the people the other side,
Yeah.
but you can still talk. Does that make
No,
sense?
you can see and hear a particular creature. So the problem is he can speak, but
can't hear
he
us,
can't
yeah.
hear
Can't
you.
hear us.
No. So as he's like scrying, like it is difficult to see, but I have managed to connect with him. I am observing. He's on board a vessel. I can see a creature with him. I believe he's taken the form of humanoid. Looks to be dark-skinned, white hair, yellow eyes. Looks to be female. Yes. Short. About 4.5 foot maybe. They are conversing. She's explaining to him that she has been freed, and she is able to bestow power upon him as the reward for servitude. And they wish to move against the Yuan-Ti. She's offering assistance in recruitment of more people to form a small army. They plan to raid the capital of the Yuan-Ti. And then it fades. They're moving against the Yuan-Ti still. She has been able to bestow in power and is offering aid in gathering men and resources to attack their homeland.
So, it's not. This is not a good situation, but it's positive. The two enemies are fighting each other.
It could be a lot worse. She could, going after everything.
I hate to say it, but I think we need to meet fire with fire. We need an army.
Mm-hmm.
We need to unite the archipelago fast.
I mean, I have an Umbering Hulk, if that makes any sense.
A what?
There's a reference, don't worry. You said we need an army.
Oh.
An Umbering
Okay.
Hulk. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to do it funny, okay? Trying to
Not the
alleviate...
time for funny.
Oh god, I'm trying to help you alleviate the situation. You're all panicking. Stop panicking, Ben.
We need to go back to the Call of Chaos. At least have a rest, have a night of some relief, and then tomorrow we head to the Baroness, enforce her. If not, we then work to build an army around her.
Here, take these with you. And he's going to hand enough for one each of the party. Syringes with thick, heavy needles on the end and a glowing blue liquid. I can insert it if you wish, but this should allow you to telepathically communicate with me, each of you, once a day. Only for a short time, mind you, but it gives you all a means of reaching out to me without relying on Nivara. But it will only be a one-way communication to myself.
I'm sure you can understand me doing this if I can communicate with you outside of it, and I don't really like putting things inside my body. And she's going to push it back a little bit. As long as that is okay, and it's not like I'm being ungrateful, I just don't want to put something inside me that potentially could be bad for me. You know?
What?
I'm just
Josiah's
trying
like
to give you the
lifting up
means.
Yeah, Josiah's lifted up the sleeve of his shirt in for a penny.
And he will guide where you to insert it, which is basically the needle. Like it's got to go into the crook of your elbow, going to so you've got to bend your arm a little bit, and then it's got to go into the forearm, going towards the elbow. And he'll kind of verbally describe and obviously make a con save if you're going to insert it.
Yeah, I assume I fail because I need to. Was it to? What? What's the con save for?
Well, you're self-administering is the problem. So this.
Oh no!
is...
I was saying you
the
can.
con save. Oh, he can do it. Okay, that's fine. I was going to say the con save is to grit through it because you're trying to do it yourself.
No,
he
can do it.
That's fine. So yeah, he'll grab your arm and kind of manipulate you where he needs to and put the syringe, and he'll go into the skin, and it fucking hurts like a bitch. You will take 1 point of piercing damage because these syringes are like, you know, the Victorian era needles.
Yeah,
where they're fucking huge.
Poison.
Like, this motherfucker could drink boba tea if it wanted.
Oh god. Jesus.
They're big. It fucking sucks. And, yeah. You'll see as the liquid goes in, and what you'll actually notice is in your left arm, where he's injected it, you'll notice some of the veins in the immediate area glow blue. Like bioluminescent blue. And then fade as it spreads around the body. Yes. Think now, before anything else, of an activation word to activate the telepathy. And speak it aloud.
Mm.
And as you say,
Yeah. Well, I think he's thinking of like it would be like megaphone, but whatever old timey thing is for a megaphone. That's what he's thinking.
Bonus megas. I mean,
Like
Your
a-
trumpet.
you can come back to it. Like you say,
Yeah.
you say it, and it syncs and logs. The next time you say that word, the connection will happen for 5 minutes only. After that, it will cease, but you will have to wait 24 hours to be able to do it again. And
Oh no,
obviously-
megaphones are just a giant cone. Like it's a
Yeah.
megaphone.
Okay, so the next time you say megaphone, a connection will telepathically connect with Archaea for 5 minutes, after which you must wait 24 hours to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Is this we have to inject it now, or can we take the syringe?
You can take it if you wish, but just be careful inserting it. Please.
All right, fine. Inject me with it then.
Take you and do the exact same process, exact same descriptors. Magic command word is required. You'll speak it. You don't have to think of it now. Does Barnet
I
Yeah.
will pass, thank you.
pass entirely and you don't want it, or just not right now?
I am not going to put some unknown liquid in me.
Okay. So Novara and Vlad haven't, but the other three have. That's fine.
That's
So
not
you-
getting any potions.
Right. You said you're wishing to return to your vessel. I please would ask, now that I have given you the means of communicating with me further, please do, so I can begin my checks of the perimeter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry to rush you, but I do not wish to be distracted, nor do I wish to show some of my hand of the security here to anyone else. I hope you understand.
Yeah. And then I'm guessing gathering everybody, giving Archaea a nod, I will teleport us back to the Call of Chaos.
Mm.
And with a blink of an eye and a flash in the pan, you guys... You are back.
Yeah, as soon as we land on the deck, yeah. Go on, Danny.
You're back on the Call of Chaos. And I believe you are also greeted by...
Yeah.
Nikki, Danny's sister. Mwah. Love you.
I don't know if you heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, she was
Hello.
waiting for a moment for me to stop talking so she could kiss me and say goodbye, because she's come visiting. Come see the kittens. Because she wanted to come and see them, like, because she's finished, like, a chemo and stuff, and it's before she had anything else done, because she's good at the minute. But,
Yeah.
back on the
Hello.
deck, you are not only met with your automatons, but you are also met with, I believe, Rose, you hired a quartermaster, didn't you? For the
No,
ship.
the metal bender.
No, I know
There's
him,
just
but
the metal bender.
wasn't there someone else?
No.
Oh, no, you were going to, and then Vlad killed him.
No,
Never
Hmm.
mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I'm confused.
Don't.
Put your big wooden spoon away, Donald.
No, that's why I'm
Stop staring.
confused. No, I genuinely forgot. Like, I thought
not-
I
yeah.
didn't count him. I thought it was someone else, and he was like, oh no, it was him I'm thinking of. Because Rose, you were talking to me what you were going to do with him. Right, never
Yeah.
mind. Also, by the way, the ship would have moved another 2 squares because you told it to go to cryo. And during the time I hadn't been moving the ship, but it would have moved 2 squares. I'm just going to shift ping you guys. There's where the ship is currently.
Thank you.
But yeah, the Ottos. Welcome back, captains and lady. Looking at Uldar very curiously.
That would have been one of the things Paul had shown.
Yeah, I've shown
Yeah.
some. Yeah.
We cycle through. Paul has cycled through some identities with Otto.
Okay, that's fine then. I forgot that happened, but now I remember it now you've said it, yes. Thea, you have the Ottos on board and you also have Theo on board.
Captain, should we change course to
Oh no,
Ulster's
sorry, his
deck?
name's not Theo. Theo was one of his old captains. It's Francesco. Because you met Chris,
Yeah.
Damien, and Francesco, Rose.
Yeah.
I really should type some of these notes up better, because the thing is, a lot of the stuff is in my head for the most part. Because I'm too lazy to write it, and I really should write it, because sometimes these notes are not easy to read. Because as you encounter stuff, I write it down just to help remind me that you've encountered it.
Yeah.
I'm going to say hold course for the minute, and my rationale is Arcadia needs to tell us how to kill that her.
Funny enough, you're currently almost directly above him.
Oh, yeah.
This is about where it was.
So, well, we still need to pick up this.
Yeah.
We're not going after them today. We have bigger things to do.
That's fine. I just thought, yeah, I was like, I know when a fight, I'm not prepared for a fight. That's fine.
Well, we're not,
yeah.
we need an army.
Ulcer's den for Vith. Let's go for it.
But I just mean maybe we can go around this way and like hug Siren's Rest as we go down, trying to avoid snake pits. Maybe that time.
Yeah. I mean, the Yonti don't have a navy, do they? So.
I don't know.
Right, so let me just measure real quick.
Trying to hug Siren's Rest as we go. Yeah, down that way. Perfect.
Yeah, and then 190,
Oh, no.
195-ish miles, because don't forget the docks on the south side of Ulster's Den.
But even if we go forward a little bit to here in the next day or two, I'm going to speak to Vith to find out. Yeah, can I send a message to Vith whilst we're standing on board the ship as soon as we arrive? And yes, I'm going to send him a message.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't know if you.
I'm just double
I know
checking.
people talking to you.
The Call of Chaos travels 48 miles a day.
Cool.
Actually, so it would be a couple more along. Actually, it's quicker than I remember. So yeah, you're there, and obviously 195 miles. It's give or take about 4 days. Because I've just double checked.
So, yeah,
yeah, because Wade's Rest does 120 miles a day. Call of Chaos is 48.
So I will say to Vith, sorry, we were postponed. Where are you? And we will come and get you.
I am currently residing in the Haven. During my stay here, I got friendly, as you suggested, with Stella. I have been waiting for you to return. And that's it.
Run away, buddy.
Hot drow! Made friends with Stella.
No, he didn't say made friends, he said got friendly with.
Yeah, our friend has got friendly with Stella.
The one that apparently is a reference to a thing that I didn't realise I did. Because it was a deep south, like southern gal, barmaid, and apparently that was, what was it?
Stella.
What's that off?
Stella.
That's 3 con energy, so yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna say, because I remember you all lost your shit when I did it, and I didn't understand it. I still don't.
I swear you also said I could rely on the kindness of strangers or something very similar.
Yeah.
It was very...
Now that, you're gonna have to fact check, because I don't know that. I
Have
just
you
remember you all
not
losing
even
your
watched,
shit.
like, The Simpsons
Yeah, I've watched The
episode? Yeah.
No, I don't know.
That's what I'm basing it on.
I might have watched
Yeah.
The Simpsons episode, but I don't know which episode
No,
it is.
it's
'cause
It's
I'm
all a bit of March of the
Flanders.
musical.
Yeah, and like that's when you find out Ned Flanders is ripped because like he takes
Yeah,
off
he's
his
super
coat.
hot.
That's
Did you say
first
the one
time
where...
we'll-
Is it the one where Homer's like the manager for like a country singer?
No.
No.
March is like doing a play and like Homer feels like cut out and then like they're making
Well, at
comparisons
first-
of him being abusive like husband and like
No,
and
I
then-
Yeah, he
I
doesn't
don't
be
remember.
involved.
Probably if I watched that episode again, I'd remember it, but I don't remember off the top of my head.
It's probably series 3 or 4. It's early.
Okay. Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
don't recognise it. But anyway, we'll discuss this later, how fucking ridiculous I am at doing shit like that. Again.
Okay. Drinks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a bottle of elven wine, I'm going to crack it open immediately.
Yeah, and the
like,
Ottos
on
will
the net.
and the Ottos will produce whatever you need, like from because you have some basic stores on the ship, I believe. Let me double check the inventory. No, you just have gunpowder and cannonballs. You don't have any food rations or anything. Oh shit, you don't have any food rations or anything.
You do have infinite popcorn.
Not on this ship where fucking Francesco's been the past day or two.
I'd assume we would have.
I think there's
Probably-
rations.
I
Surely
thought
there's
we had
rations.
rations.
There is, and I'm looking at the Call of Chaos's inventory right now. The Call of
It's because
Chaos's
they're
inventory
all on
has
the other
80
ship.
cannonballs, 80 gunpowder shots, and 20 cannons. That is your inventory on the ship. And obviously
Yeah.
the Ottos, which I
We-
should actually also put on your inventory list.
As retroactively, because I assume at some point I
Sure,
would have
yeah,
clocked
yeah,
this
sure.
back. Can I?
Yeah.
Can we say that we do have 40 rations on board, and I'll sort the money out later and deal with it? Like when we.
I'll put them on
got
your
somewhere.
I'll put them on your sheet now.
Thank you.
No, if I
And
was
I'll sort it out
smart,
later.
Also, while I'm thinking about
Yeah.
it, I'll put the Ottos on.
Thank you. I'm just thinking that Naya is the quartermaster, and at some point she would have gone, it's because we got rations on board the other ship, and I've just forgotten to take them over.
It does
But,
seem like
yeah.
a fucking Twilight Zone episode that you take this job and you teleport to a ship where there's only robots and there's no
Yeah.
food.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm also putting automatons on your inventory because you've got 59 of them, and you also have Otto parts in brackets 1/2. 1/2 of a guy because you two broke, but they managed to bodge 2 together to make.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I've updated your inventory on the ship.
What a fucking day. I just.
Make a perception check as well on the deck of the ship.
Oh no. I don't think
Any
I
or
can
all?
do it.
Everyone.
Everyone.
Everyone, right, okay. Perception.
Oh, I can't find perception. There we go.
You can't perceive the
That's the perception. Nice.
Everyone spots it. It's not terribly hard to spot, but you'll notice at the bow of the ship, just before, I don't know what the name of it is, you know the big stick that points out at the end of the ship?
Yeah.
Just on the platform to that, you will notice the beginnings of a sculpture and a small structure made out of metal.
Oh.
Looks incomplete, but it is getting there. And you will see that it looks like it is going to be a person. It's currently got the legs done, but like everything else is not ready. It's currently like someone stood, like legs slightly apart in like a fighting stance.
I've taken the money off, I've sorted it. It was 20 gold.
Looks to be made out of iron. Like I said, it wasn't hard to spot. It was a DC 5. It was just
So not
whether,
like
does,
a-
where it's like literally whether does anyone spot half a statue at the front of the ship?
So not like a figurehead, like on top.
No, it's on the bow of the ship at the minute. It's at the front of the ship, like it's been positioned there to look like a figurehead, but it's not actually attached to the actual hull underneath. It's just on the
That's
bow.
what I was thinking. Yeah. Okay.
Does it look hollow, at least?
Yeah.
Okay. That shouldn't disrupt our weight too much. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I
continue.
don't care.
At some point during the night, if I can get Naya on her own, I'll kind of wander over.
Oh, you want to skip straight to night? Okay.
Oh, no, sorry. Well, if we were drinking.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
It's
mind
really-
because unless anyone else has anything
It's
they
late
wish to do.
afternoon, I think.
Yeah,
So we're going to move
yeah,
into
that's about
evening
right.
night.
Yeah, I'm happy to let time flow like that. So obviously at some point as the sun begins to set and the evening draws in, Uldar, you find yourself cornering Naya for a conversation.
Yeah. Good to have you back. Someone actually in charge, because it was a little bit awkward without you two. But you might want to keep an eye on Vlad. He wasn't exactly helpful when trying to find you.
What do you
Seemed
mean?
kind of happy when the first attempt completely failed on us as well.
When you collapsed the room in?
Yeah. Seemed to be only subtle, but something to keep an eye on.
I am going to give him a little faith. If that makes sense. It may just be a blip, you know? And it might be that it wasn't glee. And this is no offense, but sometimes your interpretation of things is a little off. So,
Yeah.
I just might give it a minute.
Yep. And he did help during the he assisted Josiah during the Prescott talks. So, yeah. Might have been a spur of the moment thing. I'm happy you're back.
Really?
Yeah, you two are the only ones who know what they're doing. I was a little lost. Not gonna lie.
Well, it is all about thinking about things quite orderly. So you go, right, okay. So to you guys, we had vanished, right? Teleported.
Yep.
You witnessed a teleport. You can't follow me to that point? So what would you do?
Well, first thought was if you were in trouble, you would have rallied and got back to the ship. But then the people working there were going to open up, so we attempted to open up and maybe see more in there, but that was a dead end.
To
Literally.
potentially
Literally.
follow us?
Well, I don't know if we'd have. I would have let the experts have a look and see what happened to you. I don't know about following exactly, but if we could have, probably would have.
You are lucky you did not.
Right.
We nearly
You
lost
did a good
Josiah
thing, then.
today.
Was that bad then?
Fucking hell.
Hmm?
We nearly lost Josiah. Was that bad then? Wow.
No, I said it was that bad then.
Oh, I
Sorry.
thought you said was that bad then.
Oh,
I
no,
thought you
no.
mugged him off.
No, completely the opposite.
Once we arrived, after we'd taken care of... we were investigating into... we arrived in this room full with bodies, essentially. Skeleton upon skeleton upon skeleton. Some were older than anything I had comprehended. And on such a mass scale, this room, the width of it was 120 feet easily. And I did not see both ends of it, and we traversed for a little bit. At one end was an incinerator where the bodies were being moved by mechanical means, almost like a snake slithering the whole.
Yeah, it's creepy. The more you think about
Corpses.
it, it was almost like the inside of a snake. How you'd imagine it
Like-
like moves the food
Yeah.
down.
Swallowing.
Yeah.
Mm.
That was the description I was going for.
Doll appeared, and he had his eyes, as Josiah showed earlier, completely nullified any magic.
Yeah. And
were
Josiah
in
left.
there-
I'm just going to point out because it was left in the room where you guys were when everything
Yeah,
happened.
we left
so
with-
it's left with Arca here, just to let you go know, Ben.
Yeah, that's fine. That was intended, but he's got.
Just
bigger
reminding
fish
you,
to
just
fry
in
now.
case you'd forgot.
Yeah, sound.
So we effectively took down Doll. It was honestly quite impressive. I understand now why you were so into Josiah at one point. And after that point,
Hey yo.
oh, I think Danny just said something, but never mind. I'm gonna carry on.
Heyo.
After that point, we managed to leave using Doll's severed head, but ended up in. We realised we were in some sort of facility where it was like it was like it was creating energy for the greater city. Oh, I forgot to say, at this point is when I put Josiah in manacles, and he got all bloodied, and then I transformed into doll, because our idea
And you
was
took
that
his
we
shirt off at some point in between.
I know, yeah, I took his shirt off, I remember this.
You took his shirt off
happening.
and then manacled him.
Yes, I did.
Right.
Literally
it wouldn't
what
make
happened.
sense- It wouldn't make sense the other way around.
No, he wouldn't be able to get it off his wrist.
Yeah.
I mean,
You have to
could just
take the
rip
shirt
it.
off first, and then put it on.
Can't rip it off.
I
and
know. No,
Danny, you
it's
can
really
write-
strong.
you can- You can write the
Write the
fanfiction
fanfiction
later,
later.
Danny.
I'm
You
going to
can
write the fan
fanfiction
fiction, sing the fan fiction.
And then, after this point, once he was manacled and I had transformed, we left and began investigating out. We saw machinery that was beyond anything I have ever seen before, much more advanced. We then left this plant and began to head through the city, trying to figure out. We thought that this would be the perfect time, you see, to try and see a little into what the Yuan-Ti were doing.
Yeah.
It was a city like any other. There were Yuan-Ti people talking, staring at us quite considerably, but I think they were staring at me because I'd obviously taken the shape of doll. I'll get back to that in a minute.
And you also had a prisoner.
Yeah. As I was, pulling down the streets, we even saw children. Like little Yuan-Ti hatchlings. But people in servitude and in cages or being pulled along behind people, picking up heavy objects. All with this kind of look about them, this soft smile, like they weren't 100% there, or they were clawing at their skin. It was ever so strange. We headed following the large cable systems, but found in the center of town there was a huge pyramid. After going out to the pyramid, we headed to the top, as that is where one of these power cables went into. However, stepping through the door, we then interacted with Gissa, who tried to kill me. He did not succeed. We fought for a little bit. I then saw the artifact, but I was looking for something else. Couldn't really find it. She then tried to get us to drink, or we weren't going to be able to leave, because I think I was misinterpreting things a little at this point. I will be honest. Josiah was right. She rolls her eyes at that.
Josiah fist bumps.
I don't think
He's
I'm
not
there. But he's been right twice in the last, yeah.
Mm.
And so he went to drink the white resin. He was going to give in, and I kept on freezing her in time and trying to search for anything. And then we had a conversation. I realized I was wrong and Josiah was right, and then we rallied and jumped. We then had a mini argument about him saying he was right and I should have listened to him, blah blah blah, on the deck of the ship. And then he stomped off because he was obviously covered in blood and wanted to have a bath. And I needed to replace my manacles because I'd lost them there when I had to uncuff him. That is it.
Hell of a day then. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And speaking of explaining that day, that's where we're going to leave it for today. Unless anyone else has anything they wish to add.
I kind of do, but I'll hold it. I'll hold
Okay.
it. It's fine.
Okay.
Did want to have a conversation with somebody else in the party, but I feel like
Yeah, I think that's a great
I don't know if
stopping
that'll be
point
done
with
in
how,
7
with how
minutes.
close we are, yeah. Because I think that is the end of the chapter as well. And, and I know you've only had one very recently, but I think that was pretty significant. So, before we end the stream, do you guys want to take 10
Say it.
gold?
Have a long rest.
Level up.
Yeah. What? You get to level up? Oh my god.
Yeah, like I said, although you've had one recently, I would argue what happened this episode and the last couple episodes, pretty significant.
Yeah, what do I win?
A D12 roll. If you want
Oh,
to
we
yeah,
rolling
help.
hit die now.
Yeah, you may as well, and then we'll end the stream on that.
Asking Danny, is this when things go for? Are you okay with everything that was planned?
Yes, with you. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
7
7.
plus
Ooh.
3, 10. Oh, nice.
Fine. Missing 2 more, 3 more.
I'm just trying to remember my hit dice. Oh, hang on.
Also-
Wizard one is 6, isn't it?
Yeah, Wizard 6.
A wizard is a D6.
Oh, baby, there's some good rolls. God damn. So, for those that are going to be watching this on YouTube at some point in the future, please be watching the next episode very, very soon. Termination
Okay,
of
ability.
transmission. Goodbye.